And we're live for Roundabout Cast 108 Speedrun Edition, maybe?
108 years to get home.
108 years
years.
Roundabout cast. Wow.
108
Wow.
years. Roundabout Cast forever. 99 seasons of Roundabout Cast.
This was the actual bit Tyler was prepping up, just being his best Rook voice.
So, fun fact, Tyler's mic is not weird. He just sounds like that now, which also caught me off guard.
Yeah, I do.
He's under the weather, so he's a real trooper. And actually, speaking of troopers, you might notice, if this comes out in a timely manner, that this is slightly earlier than we would usually do a podcast. Well, very slightly. But we're trying to squeeze these in because Bradley has been a trooper working really late, so we're trying to make sure that our little roster is not too overloaded to reduce the risk of going super late on account that we have to start these a little later right now. So everyone say thank you, Bradley.
Thank you, Bradley. But the stuff we do have on here, some of it is stuff I've been waiting for a while.
Okay.
Indeed. Do you want to talk about some of the stuff you've been up to, Bradley, in the slivers, the ever so slight stretches of time, of free time you've had lately?
Yes, because for the most part, life is just work and go to sleep right now. But in the in-betweens that I have had, I think last time I mentioned I had been partaking in the noble goal of trying to get all 150 stars in the worst version of Super Mario 64, Super Mario 64 DS. And I've done it. I got every bitch-ass star. And then I kind of had one of those moments when you finish a challenge where you evaluate, like, is this like a so fun, I want to do it again someday? Or is this like that was so fun, I'm glad I did it, but I'm never doing it again? And I think it's in the second category.
That's very interesting. It's definitely no Kingdom Hearts level 1, it sounds like.
But we'll say this. I think some people out there might try to convince you that Super Mario 64 is a bad game, which I do not think is true. But what I do think is true is that every 3D Mario that has come out after it was better.
Okay, that's all I want to hear, because I'm a bit of a Mario 64 slanderer, because you can't look me in the face.
I did genuinely have fun.
I do remember, though, we were like at a lake house, and Bradley was being a little angry at some of those levels, and he is not one to get angry at video games, from my experience.
Oh my god. I was trying to get every single star on any given course before going to the next course. And the last course is TikTok Clock, and holy shit, that course was infuriating.
Oh my god, TikTok Clock.
What's your favorite and least favorite courses or worlds in 64?
Dude, my least favorite. There's two snow worlds. It's the second one. It just feels so forgettable. I didn't even remember that world was in the game.
I don't either. The first one is with the penguin, of course.
Everyone remembers the penguin one.
Yeah.
That's the cool snow world.
No one talks about that other one.
Snow World?
Allegedly. Maybe it's a 64 exclusive. I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm having like Alzheimer's moment right now.
Yeah, you don't remember it because that's how forgettable it is. Favorite world? I like the haunted mansion. I like the booze mansion.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you'll never revisit that again.
This place
Joe says,
suck. I looked up Snowman's Land. That's the name of the second one.
Oh, that's a cute name, though.
It is a cute
I'll
name.
give it that.
I will say the Boo Haunted House scared me as a child. So, like...
A piano with teeth?
Yeah, who
come on!
All pianos have teeth.
I suppose so. You know what? Brilliant work by Miyamoto there.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing much else. Most of what I've been playing kind of went on pause the past month or so, but I did watch Amy play something very cool. We do a lot of roguelites in this household, and so she decided to go back to one of the OG roguelites and bought Oregon fucking Trail.
On the Nintendo Switch.
On the Nintendo Switch, which, by the way, this port of Oregon Trail to the Switch, they did a fantastic job at making this game very nice to both look at and listen to. Holy shit. They put so much of their points into that atmosphere of this game. Kind of just watching the people go by and watching her play it was a joy. Um, and I never did much of the like original Oregon Trail from way back in the day, so I don't know how closely it compares, but they have a pretty good experience here because like they do what you've seen in some games where they have like inventory management where you have to like actually move and Tetris stuff into the
Ah.
inventory of your wagon. But then
Oh.
like
I love attaché case from Resident Evil 4. Love that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
and then like I don't know, you might hit a bump in the road so it breaks part of your wagon so you can't put stuff in that inventory space and it's like okay, I can re-Tetris it. Um or maybe like part of your inventory will only be slightly damaged so you can still store stuff there, but that part of your inventory is now exposed to like air and rain. So if you're storing food there, it can like get mold. Um,
I love that.
our first attempt at this game went very terribly. A lot of broken legs, a lot of cholera. So I don't know. It's a very I would recommend it if it's on sale. We got it on like 60% off, but Oregon Trail,
Oregon-
who knew?
Oregon Trail classic. Educational
cool.
and disastrous.
No, and actually, I did want to say that it's cool that Oregon Trail, the old one and also especially this new one, I think it's cool how closely they stick to like the goal of wanting it to be educational. But even then, this newer one, the first screen that came up when we booted it up, was them talking about how for this new Oregon Trail, they had like talked to a lot of Native Americans because they wanted to get a perspective on it because like the original Oregon Trail game was presented as an adventure and it still kind of is, but it's important to remember that that period of time that was considered adventure for some of the population, for the other half of the population on this continent was considered like a time of loss. And so I don't know, they had this whole big like statement at the start of the game how they're like we tried to like rewrite parts of the game and make quests that like better portray how that time period was from their
Wow.
point of view and I was like that's really cool.
That's surprisingly sobering for you buying Oregon Trail for $3.99 on your Nintendo Switch. That's cool.
But yeah, it is a very cool game.
The fact you called
Nice.
Oregon Trail the first roguelike, like, have people realized that? Because you just made me realize. Because yeah,
It's pretty fucking ancient.
Yeah.
I've never thought of it that way. That's cool. Just another one to add to the roguelike collection that goes on in the Bradley household. And in my brilliance, I'm like, okay, let's get like the one Bradley thing out of the way immediately. So, good job me as far as scheduling. But thank you, Bradley. Joe, you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah. So to kick things off, this Sunday, the August, Marvel Crisis Protocol update dropped. This was announced back in April for June, and then got pushed back twice.
You said it was what, like 172 characters updated or some shit?
Yeah,
Holy fuck.
72 characters got updated. You are more likely to have something change on your card than nothing, actually, which is kind of crazy.
So in that scenario, do you print out a new card? Do they start stocking the shelves with new cards? What happens?
I have a PDF of these cards that I will have to select to print out for now, but there's a guy on Etsy who does mass print orders.
Ah.
You get up to one of those, and then I'll get everything. So I'll get all the cards for all models, which is great because then I can find cheap models that people are using secondhand. I'll have the rules for them.
I love when a community is held on the shoulders of an individual.
Yeah.
Shout out to Batsu for the One Piece sim. Shout out to Favi for the Union sim. Like,
Yeah.
just solo actors just saving a whole hobby.
Yes. So true. Thank you. Easy victory. But the purpose of this update was that the designers felt that the game was you were killing characters too fast. Everyone was just dying a little bit too quickly.
Time to
and,
kill
they're-
too fast.
Yeah, time to kill too fast. So everyone, I say everyone, 90% of the entire roster of the game gained at least 1 health point, which might not seem like a lot, but when your health is 5, that's 20% increase of health.
Damn.
Right? So it's like it's pretty significant, and some characters have gotten 3 health points, and that's actually fucking ridiculous.
Jesus.
And so, but there was also some other stuff too, and I think they've done a really great job of like for a lot of these characters, and like there are some characters that they nerfed, but they nerfed it in such a way that became a lot more interesting. So, like for example, like Captain America 1, the first Captain America model, he had a leadership ability that said like the first superpower, which is one of your abilities you do every turn, costs 1 less power, minimum 1, which was really really strong and created a lot of turn 1 like cheese plays and gotchas and stuff like that. What they've replaced it with is whenever you spend power for a superpower, the first time you do that, you get 1 power, which has flipped on its head where previously you were trying to like get a bunch of models with like 2 cost powers, and now you're looking like, oh, I want a bunch of models to have 1 cost powers because those are now essentially free. And so that has really changed how his team dynamic shapes, and has also gotten rid of a lot of the turn 1 plays that could be really really punishing and like really catch like inexperienced players off guard. So it's stuff like that. But like the biggest thing that I love is that like Magneto got like a whole overhaul. Like he's one of my favorite characters design wise, but like he always was just a little bit under the power curve for like one reason or another. And they touched everything on his card except his like one really good attack. And so now he is just way better. He's way cooler. I played against him yesterday, and he is hella scary. The guy is just like he can like basically his big thing now is that he can like pick a character and he can force all of the terrain to crush in onto that character and damage them at once, like thematically. And he places terrain down at the start of all of his turns. So like he'd be like, "All right, you're there. I'm gonna put this pylon here. I'm gonna hit you twice, and then I'm gonna crush everything around you." So they made him really, really cool, and I'm really excited to try out my Brotherhood list again and see if it will do any good. But like, it's also like the health has been really great. Like I was playing my Kang list, and my Kang lived 3 times on 1 health, and the only reason he was able to do that is because he got 1 additional health on his front side, and because of that, he was able to like, you didn't kill me. I'm gonna hit you twice and throw you off the point. I'm gonna score points now.
One, I
And I've been
like
able-
that. That's a good way to show like how 1 point
Yeah.
can be a difference. But second of all, 1
Yeah.
health on his front side. So there's side specific healths.
Yes. So.
So hold on, if someone got buffed on their backside, they're getting like a BBL.
Yes.
Okay, I love
Yeah.
that. That's great.
No, yeah. So like you have 2 sides of Marvel Crisis Protocol. Your front side and your back side. If you lose all your health on your front side, you're dazed. You effectively do not exist for any superpower purposes, so you can't be interacted with. Start next round, you flip over to your back side, and now you
Oh, of the
and
card. Okay, it's
of
not
the
like
card,
it's
yeah.
not the butt lift. Okay.
No. So like this way, like, and so it makes a difference because if you're on your front side, you have priority on objectives compared to your back side. But also, like, characters have different effects on their backside. So, like, Captain America, who I was mentioning before, was one of those models that got 3 hit points, 2 of which are on his backside. And on his backside, he has an ability called I Can Do This All Day, which makes the fence way better. And it's just like, this guy's unkillable. Like, you have to chew through 7 health, and he's blocking 7 out of 8 attacks now. That's insane. Like, actually, guy's gonna be unable to be killed. Same with like Spider-Man. Spider-Man got like I think also 3 additional hit points, and now he rerolls everything. It's a crazy time, but like everything is a lot tankier. A lot of my X-Men that were like 3 threats got 1 hit point each, which is on their front and back. So now they're like better on both sides. So I'm really excited to try them out again. I played 2 games. I have like a small like local tournament that's happening on Saturday, so I'm going to go there and try some shit out, and we'll see what happens. But
Nice.
I think overall the perception from the community is really, really good. The other thing is my sister had a baby. I am officially an uncle.
Yay,
No longer as
congratulations.
LARPing as one.
Yeah.
Joe's Unc.
Yeah.
I'll let it slide, Joe. I'll let you
Yeah,
have
I know. Right before this, I visited my sister just got back from the hospital, and I visited her and my brother-in-law and the baby. And it was a very long day. But they're home now. Baby's doing good. Baby's very healthy. Baby, baby very active. Baby loves looking at stuff. Like kind of
Nice.
crazy. Yeah, just loves looking at things and be like, and making funny faces. Um, but we love her to death. But yeah, that's all I got going on right here. That isn't like in the main topics. I was hoping to get my book done, but I just didn't have time to squeeze in a listening time or anything like that. So probably this week, right afterwards.
Next time, baby.
Yep.
Joe hasn't mentioned it in the podcast, I don't think, but like he's been giving us updates on his brother going through the One Piece manga. I just wanted to shout that out. That's been really fun.
Oh, and he's like in the best place too.
Yeah, he's in Ennie's
Yeah.
lobby, so he's in for life. Once a reader reaches Ennie's lobby, you know you got them by the balls at that point.
He already texted me. I think I mentioned it here about like, are you gonna give me the other box set? I'm like, well, your birthday's coming up. Like, you gotta get to the end there and see if you can deserve it. So
He's working.
He is working. I haven't gotten an update from him for the past 2 days. I think his work has suddenly like gotten really busy for him.
He read like 3 or 4 volumes in like a week or something, so I think that's okay. I think he's doing
also,
just fine.
So fun story about my my niece's birth. My sister went in for a due date and they talked to the doctor. Doctor's like, you're not even close. Like, the baby's in the wrong position. You're not feeling anything. It probably is going to be a week until something happens. And so we're like, okay, whatever. And my brother was already coming up that weekend. And so Friday we met up and was talking. They're like, yeah, it's probably going to be not until Wednesday until something happens. Come 5 o'clock in the morning Saturday, my sister goes into labor, right? And so we're like, this is entirely convenient because my brother lives in San Antonio, so he was probably not gonna be able to see the baby for like a whole 2 weeks if it didn't come that weekend. And so just he happened to be in town and the baby came, which was really nice.
Oh.
Yeah, and we had a really long discussion about One Piece too. He's very excited about all the things that are happening there. He's got some interesting thoughts about Frankie. He thinks he's very funny.
I mean, he is.
And weird.
True.
But yeah, it's but yeah, I'm very excited to hear more from Tommy about his One Piece journey. But he's real in, man. Like he was talking to me. He's like, there's no way Robin's a narc. That can't be true.
I love that. I love that way of phrasing it.
And I'm just sitting here like, oh man, it's when he gets to the page, it's gonna be incredible.
Oh, Joe's like, oh man, you're speaking about my religion right now, and I can't say anything.
I can't say anything. But yeah, I'm monitoring his progress very closely, but he's making good progress. So I'll definitely have to get that word for him, so that way he can have it. Yeah,
Good shit.
that's me.
I'll pick up from here on the topic of going through hobbies with brothers. I was visiting my family this weekend for my mom's birthday, and I taught my brother how to play Union Arena because he's a big Jujutsu Kaisen fan, and I happen to have 2 Jujutsu Kaisen decks that I just kind of have in my little fighting game roster of decks. So that was really fun. I found he collects a bunch of Pokemon cards. He has like a couple graded like 10 slabs. It's like, is this what you're doing with your working at McDonald's in high school money? Like you're sending in Pokemon cards to get PSA graded? I was like, all right, this is news to me. But he's never like played a trading card game before. He just collects the cards because Logan Paul has influenced the youth. That was cute. This month I got to get back to video games. Suddenly all the cool ones came out, so after like the last 1 or 2 where it was a little light and I was doing more like watching stuff or like projects, this month I have a lot of games and a couple movies in there too. One of them is me revisiting Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero, which I wasn't sure if I would ever go back to this game. I have like a solid like 25 hours in this, which is surprising. But they came out with a big ass DLC. Not only that, a while ago they added like a free like 100 missions mode. There's a shit ton of characters now. I finally feel, and it's gonna cost you because you do need the DLC for this, but I finally feel that this game is really worth picking up now. Because previously, I did play this game online. I played with Bradley quite a few times, which was my best experience with this game. Um, that was really fun. But a problem that I've always had with this game is that the mechanics are just a little too fucky. Like it's an anime fighter. They try. There's just some bullshit that's like kind of annoying for like a PvP setting. Just a lot of randomness.
I always wonder like what the PvP, the anime fighter like dev team is like and designer team is like, because like
I mean, they know what they're doing. They keep it super casual. Like these mechanics, like breaking out of combos from like a substitution jutsu in the Naruto games, or like easy bait combos where all the characters kind of control the same but have like slight differences.
or
That's how
playing as
they.
4 Robins.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's how they get you to play your 7 Sasuke's, and they have slight strengths over each other, but you can just pick one up and play with your buddy, and it's not that serious. And I hear like the My Hero game and lesser the Jujutsu Kaisen game, those are like there's actual shit going on with the movesets. Like the characters are actually unique, but there's way fewer characters as a result, and they're still kind of shitty. Especially like the My Hero game apparently has cool mechanics. It looks so bad. Like it's the epitome of floaty, in my eyes. It looks pretty awful. But anyways,
I just remember when you were checking out the DLC, or whenever you mentioned it to me, I was like, a couple days ago I saw some YouTube thumbnail that was like, this is the best fucking time to get into Sparking Zero, and I was like, is that the same game I'm thinking of? Because I was like, what did they do to it? But then you mentioned everything they put in the DLC, and I was like, wow, that does kind of sound awesome.
Yeah, so on top of having like a bajillion characters now from all the newer movies, from like it has like every Dragon Ball character. Fucking Colonel Blue is such an idiot. It's got like that like Tibetan or like Indian guy from the World Tournament that no one remembers, but he's there. Like he's like one of the minor fights. It's got the whole fucking crew. It's got Goku from when he fights Piccolo the first time. I don't think Budokai Tenkaichi 3 even has that Goku, where he's like,
if it's not Budokai Tenkaichi 3, then it's like that's as deep as it gets.
exactly like and it makes sense though because he's the one that does meteor combination, so we have that in the game now. He's the one who shoots kamehamehas out of his feet to fly around and like headbutt people. So he's got stuff going on. It's got that Piccolo. His voice acting is so weird because he's like young, still thinks he's like a demon Piccolo before he finds out that he's an alien and all that shit.
Man, Dragon Ball weird.
Dragon Ball's so weird. Like, crazy that's the cornerstone of civilization. but it is. So the DLC added a roguelike mode that I think is actually really fun to play. I now see myself going back to this game just here and there now for like a long while. Because that DLC mode, like that roguelike mode alone, because you can like raise any character individually or make like a new save file for them. You can take a character, get them as strong as they want. You can take a character, do like a couple of runs and like see how well you can do in like an individual run. There's different difficulty scaling. So it just has like infinite single player now, which is what it really needed because I don't want to play that shit against a non-Bradley opponent. But also, I mentioned those 100 missions they added for free. Holy fuck, they're hard. I might have just forgotten the core mechanics, but the second mission is like it's like Dr. Gero and Android 19, and then like fucking Kui or something, someone random, and then a Cyberman. But that Cyberman is buffed out of his fucking mind. He's like blitzed on narcotics, and he's going crazy on you. It took me so many tries to beat that. I was like, Bradley, I dare you to boot the game up and just go try mission 2. To be fair, I'm doing these with like random teams, but it is fucked.
Yeah, I was glad there was a Willa recommendation because like whenever a Dragon Ball game is hard, I'm interested to know like the manner in which it is difficult because, for example, like stuff like Budokai Tenkaichi and Raging Blast, the harder difficulties, they would genuinely just give the AI, like, they'd give it better timing or it knows how to do combos and shit. Xenoverse would piss me off because the harder difficulties just meant like giving it super armor and more health. So I'm
No,
like,
the way they at least as far as I've done the mission mode and even the roguelike mode, the way they buff it is more statistic. It's rarely health, but the AI is a step above in stopping, like in using the defensive mechanics, and calling you out on that shit. And they're very consistent with their combos. Like they will put on some hurt when you slip. So I think it's like a good in between, as far as being like bullshit and genuinely hard. Um, but maybe my mind will change in the like mission 98 where you're fighting every fusion and they're cracked out of their mind or whatever. Um, but that's like 7 years until I get there. But anyways, game good now. Finally, we're there. Uh, I watched Oddity with Tyler. This is a horror movie that Tyler forgot he watched. He never talked about it in the podcast, so we were like, "Have you seen Oddity?" And he's like, "Nah." And then we turn on the movie. He's like, "Oh yeah, I saw this. I didn't even talk about it when I watched it."
I forgot again that we watched it, and I don't remember what it was about.
Oddity is an Irish movie by the director of Hokum, and it's about a sort of psychic sister
Yeah.
who is blind, and she is coming to investigate slash avenge her sister's murder. Um,
Mm.
and it's pretty solid. This guy's got like a good sense for like pacing, especially. It's a very brief and short movie. Um, it's not particularly scary, but the scene where you actually watch the murder happen is very like very unnerving. There's like a really good jump cut in there. There's some shit with a mummified body in this movie that I thought was pretty fun. And it kind of has the same plot as every horror movie these days, which I'm not like ragging on, but there's a very 2023 plus plot that is in 90% of horror movies, and this one is kind of in that lineage, which I thought was interesting. Um, yeah, pretty good. Tyler, do you have anything to say now that I refresh your memory on the movie?
Nah.
And then I played Big Walk, which is the new friend slop that hit the town.
Mega friends.
it's free on PlayStation.
It is free on PlayStation, so we could all play. What do y'all know about Big Walk?
It's like a big outdoor like kind of puzzle game where like you have walkie talkies and it's got like what's it called? Location based audio, whatever it is.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. This game was pretty hyped. I don't think I like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of boring. At first you're playing it and there's a lot of sense of wonder. All the characters are cute. You're figuring out how the game works. But it kind of expands in a way that I don't think is very fun and kind of prompts you to like split up and get lost, and then it kind of leads to the scenario where you're on your own little adventure, but some of your friends are in another adventure, and you have just completely lost the plot of like, what are we progressing? Where are we? What are we doing?
And see, already I can kind of feel why you're saying you don't like it, because I'm like 2 years ago there would be a lot less friend slop games to compete against, but when I'm thinking of the friend slop genre games I really like probably 85% of the appeal is hearing some shit happen to my buddy on the proximity chat right before they die or go out of range. And so I don't know, if you're getting split up, I feel like you're kind of missing out on like the core experience, I guess.
And you could also like, you could stick together, right? But in a group of like what were you playing with, like 8 or 9, inevitably you're gonna break off into smaller groups, and then someone's just gonna be like on a whole nother thing. I discovered like a map of the whole fucking island, but it was so overwhelming to do anything with. Meanwhile, another group of the people were like, we're in the green tower solving the green tower puzzles. Like, where the fuck's the green tower? I'm missing out on the core plot while I'm like investigating this giant ass map. And Bradley's, you mentioned something interesting. It's like hearing something happen to your friends in the distance. That doesn't even really happen here. You'll be in the walkie-talkie, and your friend's gonna go, "I'm working on this puzzle," and you're like, "Cool." Like there's nothing like super crazy happening to the characters. It also seems like a little long, for what it is. So like for a
Well,
bunch
it's the
of
big walk.
it sure is big, and you sure do be walking. Um, yeah, I mean, there's like the puzzles are pretty neat, and I think they scale with how many players you have or whatever. But yeah, to be honest, don't recommend Big Walk. There's better friend slops. Like you think of Lethal Company. Something that's cool about Lethal Company is yeah, you'll split up, but by design you're gonna be brought together and like be very like there's a very focal aim, and you're gonna go into like the dungeon or the caves together, at least with like a decent group, and like what everyone's doing is always gonna be the same. This is a sense of wonder exploration game where some of your friends are gonna be finding wonders that you never will even see. So it's like, well, this is different from like hearing a horror story of like how you failed to collect this thing and that was funny. Um,
It's like instead of the game design bringing y'all back together, it's kind of like you have to make the choice to stay together and experience the stuff together.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and that's Big Walk. I was a little disappointed. I may tune in to like a session 2 if it happens, and I'd be down to check it out with y'all. But this is a warning to lower your expectations because I came in with like really high expectations. So maybe that's on
Be
me.
warned.
Be warned. It kind of stinky.
But the characters are so cute.
They sure are, and you can do a lot with them. I like that. All right, Tyler, what have you been up to besides dying?
I read a new lit RPG series called, or the first book of the series. I listened to it. I don't read right now. Um, but I gotta be hands free. Called The Ritualist. This is the same author who wrote Full Murder Hobo. It's about a army medic who gets full paraplegic paralyzed in an attack while he's doing stuff, and then President Musk puts out gaming pods.
Christ, what a nightmare.
Yeah,
Wait, actual President Musk or like
that is the name of the character.
You have to ask, because I'm like, Death Note had literal Trump in
Like-
Death Note.
Well,
so-
don't forget
it's-
when Tyler was watching Mickey 17, he's like literally Trump's in the movie, and then I watched the movie expecting Trump. It was not Trump, but this is actually Musk.
Yeah, I had to like Google it. I'm like, is that what they're referring? They were, and I was like, it's only by reference. He's not an actual character in the book. It's just a reference to who's doing it. So as part of like a research program, he gets put in there, and then they're like, yeah, we'll put you in the pod, but then we have to burn your body, so you just stay in there. And it's like, okay, but it's not if you die in the game, you die in real life, at least not so far. He's died several times. He just lives in the game now because it was that or be a like quadriplegic. I'm like, I'd probably do the same, to be honest. He can still even call his mom and everything. Like when he dies, he goes and like cruises the internet, reads like the WikiHow articles as the game's getting updated, and just
Okay.
kind of like calls his mom, checks in how she's doing.
know
while
what?
in retirement.
I don't care what happens after I die as long as I can call my mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So, it's nothing crazy, but they're very digestible. And I just need something on in the background while I've been working lately.
Digestible
good.
is the ultimate lit RPG like gold star like that. I think that's the cornerstone of the genre, from what I know.
It's definitely better than He Who Fights Monsters, where he's like, oh, "What's a game? RPG? MMO? What is that?" I'm like, God, just fucking die, like
And now
actually die.
Tyler was already ahead of the game getting to lit RPGs in general, so I'm sure in a few years this will be the new hottest thing at every airport bookstore.
There's no, I don't. Dakota Kraut has, I think, like over 20 books. He has not made his big time yet.
I think it's hard to compete with Matt Dinniman right now.
Well, honestly, what Matt Dinniman, as I'm reading, going back to these other lit RPG series, and I see the difference is like Matt Dinniman does, like, you can see in his earlier books, like, I think by the end of the first book, he's not going into that RPG aspect anymore, and he's kind of heavily vesting into post-apocalypse power scaling survival fantasy.
You know what? Maybe
Um,
that's the way to do it. The lit RPG should be it's that's like the hook.
Mhm.
It's
But
definitely
you can't do the entire story on that skeleton alone, I guess.
it's definitely the foundation. Like, they get new
Uh,
skills and stuff,
I
and that's
feel like
interesting.
I feel like
But
DCC still does the RPG thing, but maybe I need to know how much it is in the Ritualist in comparison. Because yeah, maybe it's just lighter in comparison, but it's there. I wouldn't say it
it's
goes
like
away.
3 minutes of the guy reading a stats page.
Yikes.
Like, he's like strength 5, armor, like, you just like going through all the numbers, and it's fine.
When
That's
they
why
do
I'm
it in
there, but
DCC, it's like very fast paced and like they get through it
yes,
quick. They just hit like
yes,
everything you really need to know.
yep, that is Matt Dinniman is able to really nail uh that aspect of it. Um, and it's one thing, like, I was running the other day and I was listening to the book and I was like, this guy is an army medic, and he's like, I haven't played a lot of games. So he's like, I've played Call of Duty, but I'm not really sure what an MMORPG is. Like, I don't know that term,
You know what? Fair. That's a ball and gun gamer right there.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, he's like, I've played some games, but like, he doesn't give a timeline. He doesn't do other stuff, and so it's like He Who Fights Monsters does. They don't go. They don't spend time to explain things to their target audience about video games, because they're like, every lit RPG falls into this trap. They are authors writing a book about video games. Who's their target audience? People who play video games. What do they do to their target audience? Explain what a fucking video game is.
Well,
And Matt Dinniman does none of that.
And I find that interesting because the actual target audience, as it turns out, is booktop girls, question mark, which is like, I was thinking about this because, spoiler alert, later in this podcast I'm going to talk about DCC Butcher's Masquerade, and I was like, Matt Dinniman really expects you to just know some shit, and it kind of works. I feel like a lot of like that crowd that might be reading this book is not as nerdy as we are, and those books get like filthy nerdy with some of that shit. But I guess like the characters are so like well-rounded and good that it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
I would also venture that like a lot of those people that read those books will figure out on their own what those things mean if they don't understand. They are not.
These terms are very commonplace now.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not.
One I was thinking of is HUD. Like, he uses HUD a lot, and I was like, we all know what HUD is, but I could see like a normie getting pretty confused.
Yes, but you think about that, but Mazda 3s have heads-up displays now. Like, your car has like a 40% chance of having a HUD in it now.
But people like
that is like,
you're not gonna get one of our like our cousins who are car heads to know what the fuck a HUD is. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just saying, like, I went and test drove cars, and it's like, oh yeah, that has a heads-up display. Like,
part of it also is, I think, Dungeons and Dragons primes. Dungeons and Dragons, a lot of people know about these days. It's actually like become quite popular. So I feel like that must also be the crossover. Which, funny enough, is how Carl, who is not like a huge gamer, like he knows the basis for all of this from D&D, and I can buy that as like a dude his age. Like, he probably played a campaign or two in his lifetime, and he got it from there. I kind of like that.
Yeah. So, this book, it's not been bad. It's like the most engaging part about it is he is like, you know what? I'm actually about to die. So they're like, do you want to read the terms and conditions? So he's like, I guess I better do that, since like I'm dead and I need to know like if they're screwing me or not. So like he ends up reading all the terms and conditions, does all the tutorials and stuff, and they're like, oh, hey, you're the first guy who's finished like the 24-hour tutorial session. Here is a class that is all about doing completionist stuff. Like the class is like you want to 100% the game class. So he's like got a class that has like a hidden role to it where his actual class is called like Ritualist, and it's all about completing and gathering information inside of the game. Um, and then like he cosplays as like a cleric, so which is like his background, his like field medic stuff. So that's kind of cool. Um, and I don't really think it's based off of any real game references or anything. Like he treats it like real life because he's like a pod person, and like they have because like he lives there in the game 24/7, and there are other people in his group that do it. But when he interacts with them, it's still very much like a game to them. But him in his real life, he's like, oh man, these AI are super weird. Like, why are they interacting with me like this? Like, they're giving out super bizarre quest lines and shit like that. So it's all right. It's all right. I would never recommend anybody else go read it, unless you really want to. Um, and then I've been doing anime. Um, I've been doing Slime season 4 or something. Is it? It's kind. I think I've talked about it before, but it's still going on. Um, and I feel like they're in their honeymoon phase where like nothing bad can ever happen again, and they like started fighting in this most recent episode. And I'm just still like, yeah, sure, whatever, cool. Like anything
Yeah,
bad's
man,
gonna
that's
happen.
cool.
Yeah. Um, I'm also watching Moshoku Tensei season 3. And boy, talk about honeymoon phases, Joe, because
Yeah.
Joe's who I'm directing this at.
Uh-huh.
The first 2 episodes of this season, they open up on on a completely different character. It's the female protagonist who like left their party to go train to become stronger, but she couldn't communicate that. So like he thinks that that like in his mind she abandoned him, and he like went through a lot of trauma because of that. So the first 2 episodes are all about this character, and I'm like, fuck yeah, this is cool, engaging content, completely different stuff. I think we're like 6 or 7 more episodes later, and gosh dang, has nothing bad happened. Like our main character, he's got his family going on, he's got his 2 wives, he got to do something dirty with both of them at the same time. Nothing bad is happening to this guy. And I'm like, I fucking hate this show right now. I need something traumatic to happen to the main character immediately. So yeah, that's where all the ReZero fans come in, and they're like, well, you're not watching ReZero. And I'm like, I fucking hate that show. I watched 2.5 seasons of it, could not finish it. The second season was one of the worst things I've ever experienced in anime history. I would rather watch my life as a vending machine max level in an MMORPG than go back and watch more of ReZero.
My life is a vending machine.
Yeah, like I just fucking hate that show. But yeah, that's my anime catch up. And then y'all, what's the deal
Airline
with
food?
fucking airline seats? Y'all remember how you used to not fly Spirit Airlines because they'd be like, "Oh, look at our super cheap $200 seat or plane ticket," but you have to pay $40 for a seat, or you can just roll the dice and you sit where you sit.
Yeah.
How come after Spirit Airlines collapsed, every other fucking airline makes you pay for a seat now?
Damn.
But you're paying their airline prices, like paying not Spirit prices, and they're like, you know what? Fuck you. If you don't have our super elite $300 a year credit card, you don't get to choose where you sit on a plane. And then it's like Southwest is like, oh man, we're just gonna get rid of unorganized seating. Now you have to pick your seat. Oh, guess what? You also have to pay $80 for that seat. And it's
Dude,
just like,
Southwest in particular pisses me off. What do you mean I used to get to pick my seat and get a free checked bag, and now I get neither of those things for
Dude.
more money?
There is an entire like I watched this like this little mini YouTube video on one of my like cat like anti city, or it's called like Better Union or something, and it all goes all into like about how airline regulations fell through with the government after massive lobbying, because airline travel used to be considered essential travel by the United States government, so they had to regulate it, shit like the post office, and it would make sure that like out of, because we had like, they're like, oh, if you unregulate us, we can do so much more. And I'm like, they're like, all right, bet. So they unregulated them, and then they're like 50 airlines popped up. We had like 50 different airlines to choose from at one point. How many do you choose from now?
Like 3.
Yeah, you get 3, 4 max to choose from. And fuck you if they don't fly out of your airport. You have a 5-hour layover. Fuck you. Um, Pay for every seat, pay for every checked bag, and in the fucking economy where we're getting fucking nickel and dimed left and right, now every company has realized they no longer need to compete for who has the cheapest prices. They can all get together and just fuck everyone equally. Um,
Then what the cable
so
company wrote.
yeah, so I'm like, brother, I fucking hate flying. Getting on airplanes is the bane of my existence now. I used to actually enjoy going to the airport, and it used to be a nice time. And now it just is a constant reminder of stress.
Mhm.
That's my TED talk for the day.
Good rant.
Yeah, I'm happy that my company pays for our flights. It's nice.
Yeah, but what will happen when you have to fly out on your own dime, Joe? It's gonna suck again.
Oh, don't you know? I'm selling all of everything. I'm staying here forever.
Okay, cool. That'll do it.
Yep.
Okie dokie
I'll never
then.
go to Disney World again.
That's a lie. That's a lie. You need to
I
know
know.
it. Fucking lying whore. All right. What is Earthborne Rangers?
That's me. Okay. So, Earthborne Rangers is a card game very similar um, to Arkham Horror. The idea is you are these rangers are in this like post-apocalyptic, but like optimistic post-apocalyptic world, very much like what's it called, Horizon. You know how Horizon, like, it's definitely like after the collapse of society, but everyone's like, yeah, everything collapsed and there's robot dinosaurs anywhere, or we kind of chilling just in our like huts and shit.
We got it together. We banded together, kind of vibe.
Yeah. And so like you are a ranger that is like, and your job is you go and you just solve these ecological disasters. And so like the first mission you go on is like there's this big flood that happens. So you have to go and like go to different locations and help out with the different flood locations. It's a very neat game in which like the encounter deck that you draw from are all different biomes. So all the cards are like the location, like the little like the trees and the bushes and like the birds and the animals that all like live in that area, and so they all interact with each other. Like they like predators will hunt other animals. Like there's a log that you have to cross to get across the river, and if you don't do it in a quick enough time, it'll collapse. You fall in the river and take an injury. Stuff like that. It's very much like a very thematic, very flavorful game, and so, but it's a deck builder like Arkham, where it's like you build your deck to represent your character and what they can do. The difference is where in Arkham you have like your scenario ends, you get X amount of XP to spend to upgrade your deck. In Earthborne Rangers, you build your initial deck, and good fucking luck finding any additional cards to put in your deck. You're stuck with that bitch for the rest of the game. And it's a campaign game. It's a campaign game that is 30 days long, which comes out to be an hour and a half per day on a good day.
What? 30-hour-and-a-half days?
Yes. Yeah.
This the shit
So-
Joe's coming at over the weekend. It's like, yeah, we can bang this out. Fucking.
Oh no,
liar.
not this. Never, ever. I played this with my Arkham buddy that I usually play with, and we've played every like Arkham game, like every Arkham campaign like 3 times now. So she was just like, let's play something else. I was like, well, I have this, and I think you would really like it. And I tried playing it solo, and I wasn't really enjoying it. I gotta say, first 15 days were a struggle. Like, stuff was like really hard to grasp, and like just we weren't getting to a flow of like progression. Like guess. We were like really having a hard time. And then like day 16, something clicked. Like something that we just kind of fundamentally understood and kind of slowed ourselves down. We're like, okay, we should be doing this thing. We should be doing this thing. We don't need to go as fast as we think we do, like an Arkham. We can be a lot slower in this game than we initially anticipated. And then by the later half, we were really enjoying it. And like, I think though, the thing is like we started another campaign because like let's go again. We now have a better understanding of how the game works. We're gonna try some different classes. One of the big things is that like we're playing 2 players, and my buddy just could not fundamentally do one of the most fundamental things in the game, which was to walk, basically to travel. Like she just didn't have enough energy for it, and so I had to do the walking for the 2 of us, and it did not. It was just a slog, man. I was just stuck there trying to walk the entire time while she's petting like animals and shit. So so we were both very frustrated because there would be times where it's like there's a bunch of animals out, she's doing great stuff, but I'm doing nothing because I can't do anything until all these animals get cleared. Whereas like, oh, we gotta travel across all these different like locations and obstacles. I have to do it all, and she can't do anything because she just doesn't have the capabilities of doing that. That was a problem on our part, is that we didn't understand the importance of those things. But I think our characters now are a lot better, and we're drinking a lot more. We've done like 2 days at this point. But I gotta say, like, the problem about the game is that like because there's no like progression that is actually like built into the game that's like outside of exploring. I guess also the other thing is too is like there is this map. Hang on. That like represents that is like all the different locations, and each of these locations has like a deck of cards that you add to it and like you interact with, and they all each do a different thing. Where is my Discord? So like you have to travel to all these locations and do stuff with. So like, but there's no real like indication of where you need to go other than like reading the little campaign story that's along with it, which is like okay, but like half of these locations we actually ended up not going to because nothing we ran into along the way told us to go to those locations. So it feels like there's not a lot of like pointed directions of like places to go. And for some people that's like really great because they have a lot of freedom and they can go where they want. For us, we were just like, we gotta beat the main story, man. These fucking monsters are crawling out of holes and shit, and they're gumming up the place. We don't want them here. And so like we just felt a very high pressure and did not feel the incentive to like go explore other places. And like it wasn't until like halfway through we realized like, oh, these other places have side quests that give us the cards that improve our deck, but there was no like baked in tutorial to be like, hey, if you do stuff for people, they will give you things. So like that was a really frustrating aspect of the game that we didn't realize until halfway through. So it was just a very weird experience where it was kind of like the first half I was like not really digging this. I think it's not a lot of fun. And the second half was like, okay, things are clicking better now. We're getting a few more things. We're kind of really understanding the economics of the game. And like I kind of hate that it took us 15 days, which comes out to be like basically like 22 hours of gameplay almost.
I was gonna say, yeah,
you're
you're signing up for a 45-hour co-op adventure when you're playing this. Jesus.
Yeah, and we just do it like on a Monday, and we play like 1 or 2 days, and we're like, all right, cool, we'll see you next Monday or Tuesday or whenever we're free next, and like, which is fine, like that's no problem for us because we sit down, that's our night, but I want some gratification to this shit I did that day, like anything, man, like I think that's what makes Arkham so fun is that even if you fail on that day, you do get some like measly amount of XP. You're like, okay, how the fuck do I scrape by?
Very
like,
Dragon's Dogma 2, where my joke was like, you just like you can't be employed and play this, like
Yeah.
you will feel like you're doing nothing.
Yeah, and like there were definitely like days and like sessions where like all we did was like walk from this location to the other location, and nothing of note really happened, and it felt very frustrating in that way. And like it's one of the things where like I feel like Bradley would love the vibe of this game. Like I think you and Emily like would love the art for this game and everything, and like be like, oh, this is super cute, super great. but the commitment to it and like the feedback to it, I think it's just really, really lacking. It's really unfortunate because it's the lead designer is the former lead designer of Arkham Horror too, as well. So it's like I think they pull a little bit too far back off of like the design elements of Arkham that I really liked, and so it's just not hitting as well as I would like to. But it's been like the better half of my summer is playing this game every Monday essentially, and working through it. So I felt like I needed to talk about it and vent it a little bit. Like I want to say good game, but also kind of like I don't know, man. It's like not my speed, but also like I'm enjoying it now. It's very strange. I think also the character I'm playing is just like way cooler than what I was before. Like I'm playing like a weather wizard now, which I think is already like immediately so much better. So, but yeah, that's Earthborne Rangers. Not a lot.
This game has a soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh yeah. You want to pick that up for me, Bradley?
Not for that
You
many
don't own
digits in the
vinyl.
price.
Yeah. That's really funny though. But yeah, that's Earthborne Rangers. I don't recommend. Definitely not bringing this to any kind of board game or weekend.
Yeah,
Ever.
sorry, Joe, unallowed.
Yep.
Next time you get to bring your Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we'll allow it, and that's it. No more funny business.
I'm banned. All right.
Cool.
What's next?
Next is a return to the amazing digital circus. I watched this. I watched all of this in like the 2 or 3 days after Joe recommended it. And I mentioned it back then. Just the concept of Joe, who's usually like the most likely to be annoyed by like the whimsy of the youth.
The kids are into.
Yeah, like if there's anyone here where I feel like they just wouldn't be into that shit, it would be Joe. But he liked this. I was like, well, okay, that means something. My question is, Bradley, are you going to watch this?
I'm absolutely going to watch this because one of y'all posted that Versus Wolves where it was Amazing Digital Circus versus the Bible, and I'm like, I can't not watch that.
The
Good episode, by the way.
The fact that my podcast would never be a fraction as good as that one, there's always room to grow.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Yeah. Okay, given that, I'm not really going to talk about it this segment. What I will...
What you think? Yeah, go ahead.
No, hit me with some pointed questions, Joe. We'll make this a short one, though, because I want to save the bulk of it for when we can talk about it, like all of us.
What was your overall feelings about the show?
Very good. The first 6 episodes are, like, pretty good. The last 2 episodes are very, very good. And then it, averages out to very good.
That's how I felt. I feel like those last 2 episodes really tie the front part of that show together, in my opinion.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the God, how do I explain this? There's a backstory of one character that many would say is not telegraphed well. How do you feel about that?
I actually felt that way, and even after the backstory was told, I thought it was something slightly different. Same direction, not quite what I thought, because another character kind of had a similar backstory.
Yeah.
But then as I learned more about the creator, I was like, okay, no, it was definitely this. And I guess those characters are parallels.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's enough subtle clues for that character that it's fine, and I think is more than like foreshadowed.
Mm-hmm.
But I can totally get like the first go through, it can come out as a shock because it's like that character would not be the typical way of like showcasing that type of character. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No,
You're talking about Digital Circus, right?
Yes.
Do you know anything about this,
Okay.
Tyler?
I know y'all goon way harder than I do if y'all are watching Digital Circus.
You're so fucking weird. You're like to even bring that up. To be honest,
This is not the show to go to.
Tyler's right. Everybody who watches this is a gooner.
I think y'all went into this sorely misinformed about the concept of the show.
Sure, man.
Sorry, not the concept, the target audience.
I don't give a fuck. You know what the best part about watching Digital Circus is? I don't care anything about the fan base or what they think about anything.
High key. I got to a point where Reddit will recommend stuff, and because I talked about Digital Circus on my phone,
you're cooked.
It started showing me stuff, and you talked about a bunch of people making up arguments to argue to themselves on the subreddit. I was just like,
But Joe, you have to remember they're 12, and everyone has that phase where that is the world to them. What I will say about Digital Circus is this is going to be generational, change my worldview kind of media for some people, and I think that's really cool. I honestly, I think this is a really cool show to be the flagship of what kids are into this day. Honestly, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Half the reason I want to watch it is just so I'm allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah. I will recommend once again, Bradley. It's just don't look at anything with the fan base. It's just I'm going to use fan base with heavy quotation marks here too. It's just not worth it. Just take the show as it is and watch it. And I think there's a lot of creativity in the show, and there's a lot of passion in the show, and it's a little rough around the edges because it is the creators first real kind of big project.
And this creator is going to be so good throughout their career if this is their first project.
Yeah, so it's and
I hope that the fan base didn't scare her off too bad or whatever.
She potentially she
that's really upsetting.
Yeah, I really want to take it back with everything. It's just yeah, she actually commented on Super Eye Patch Wolf's video about it. Did you
the
see
one
that?
where he misinterprets the ending completely?
Yeah. Yes.
That's embarrassing, but okay. What did she say?
It was just something I've been watching your content for years, and I really appreciate and love that you like my work and something.
Nice.
Nice.
So
very wholesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy now that we live in this small of a world where I can see these I don't know, content creators interact with each other in that way, and be inspired by each other, and we can see that through line. I'm trying to think of anything else.
I will say, Joe, that character we were talking about is really good, though. Even though I feel the telegraphing was a little weird, very complex and interesting character.
I think the arc of that character is one of the strongest modern character arcs in a while.
Really cool. Yeah,
it's very good.
There's some other characters I really liked. I want to save that bit for talking with Bradley, and I really like the protagonist of the story. I really like the antagonist of the story. Both are also really good.
Yep.
I really like the ending. Joe, I think I know the piece of media that you were referring to as to this is a thing we like. Well, maybe not. I thought it was Soma back then, and maybe that is the case. There's another piece of media, and it's not the one that's referenced in the show. It's one that's very popular in pop culture that I think this made me think of very hard. I'll DM you what that is, but
yeah, I think the ending is the ending is really it's incredibly optimistic.
I thought so too. And when you told me that there may not be a season 2, that's actually my... Weirdly enough, this isn't a thing I usually have. I don't mind when things are one and dones. I really think this was going to have a fantastic season 2 if they decided to do it.
I thought the movie ended it.
I think there's a lot of story they can still tell. A lot of story they can still tell.
There's definitely a lot of things that they can explore with these characters. I just think it's also one of those things where it's this story was crafted, this world was crafted to tell this one story, and if it didn't expand out of that, I don't feel like it would be a waste, but there's a lot of potential.
I'm gonna echo what Wooly said in the Versus Wolves. It's yeah, but these other characters are really cool too. And I wish they got a fraction of the depth as the obvious main focal character. Because what they set up was interesting, but we didn't cash in as hard on that. And also some of the sadder elements I feel like have resolutions that can happen within the setting, but we'll probably never get to see that, so that'll just be my little headcanon.
Yeah. Yeah. Good show.
Cool stuff, cool stuff. Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Some episodes a lot funnier than others, but some bits
man.
really land.
My favorite is it's so dumb, but they're having like a beach day and the Pomni runs into this fucking fish and the fish is
the fucking shrimp. No,
Yeah.
wait. It's either the shrimp or I'm the fish who tells lies. The treasure's over there.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you spoiled it.
Dude,
And
what
then
the
she
fuck?
climbs back up, and she gets back up, and they're like, did you find? It's like, no, someone took the fucking treasure already. It's like, no, the ball. It's like, oh, the ball. And she goes back.
Really good comedic timing. Invisible guy, always really funny.
Hey.
Good fucking bit, man. Good fucking bit.
Yeah, the show is also just very funny. But yeah, I was just shocked, like how good the show was, and like, yeah. So Bradley, I still think it's totally up your alley and worth.
Please do, Bradley. I would love for us to talk about it.
Yeah.
It also has some elements of other stories we like as well, so I'd like to get into that. And also, this just really brings me back to watching Steven Universe, where, like, this is just a good show, and the fan base is insufferable, and are, like, a little way into this, and then I have to remember that, again, they'll grow out of it. You can't let it get to you. It is what it is.
And sometimes you're just like, I am not the target audience, and this is not the audience I want to be part of, you can leave.
Yeah, I will just watch and walk away. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
This is true. This harkens back to some things Tyler was talking about fandom pretty recently. And
you gotta find it relatable when you enjoy a medium, and it's just like, I think this medium was for people who are the exact opposite as me, but what is not the opposite that we both enjoy this?
Yeah, at least we have that in common, and let's just leave it at that. I will see myself out now. Speaking, you know what? That's a good segue into. I finally finished Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 5, The Butcher's Masquerade. I left this at the climax for. You can. What's cool about my life is you can just check the podcast and see when I was doing things. Since the beginning of Twig and Bradley, I have finished the Twig audiobook as far as it is right now. Which is up to Arc 14.
Okay, I'm currently in the middle of 13.
Oh, cool. We should do a chat. I say pretending like you have any time in the world for a chat. But,
I'll
you know,
make the time.
when we can, we'll do it. I think we could do 14 as a standalone. I was mentioning it when we were talking it before. I didn't really like this arc, and I kind of stand by it. It's probably the weakest arc in the story. However, the last two chapters are really, really good, and the direction that it's kind of setting the story is very interesting. So
Crazy this was a dozen Carl.
Came back around.
But anyways, because I finished that audiobook, and I had a drive to do recently, and yard work, it's the perfect time for other audiobooks, and I finally finished Dungeon Crawler Crawl 5. What do I have to say about this book? The climax is pretty cool. I've mentioned some other parts that I liked about it in the past, particularly like anything that's not in the game, especially CrawlCon. Some characters became very prevalent in this book, like Prepotente the Goat Man. I don't know if Goat Man's accurate. He's more just like a goat, like what's
He's
her face?
a bipedal goat humanoid.
Yeah, he's like Donut, but he's a goat. Cool segment with him and Miriam Dom, the vampire lady. I think, like, again, the climax is really cool. The setting is cool. Like the tension is pretty cool. The little four-way they have at the end is pretty neat. I really like the last bit of the book is like a Kadia interlude, and that was really interesting. And like, Tyler, do you have any questions to me specifically about like book 5 or whatever you remember about it? Because I'm like, Nothing comes
We
to
like
mind, but
we like Katya.
I love
Um,
Katya is one of the best characters.
there is a moment that happens right before Carl gets taken off to CrawlCon, I think, for the first time. There's a fight between Donut and Lucia Mar. Do you recall what happens in this?
She kills the. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've gained any more insight into Lucia Mar?
No, she's so confusing. Like even when you like try to put yourself out of the story and use like meta knowledge, nothing going on with that character makes sense to me.
I'm not sure if Matt Denneman knows either, to be
Okay,
honest.
cool. You can't say that. He's on book 8. You cannot tell me he still hasn't revealed what the fuck is up with this bitch. Like, there's no way. Shut up. I don't believe you.
What did you think about the Mantids?
I don't give a fuck about them, man. Oh, cool. They have flaming gonorrhea. I don't give a fuck.
No. You realize that he just genocided an entire race.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, no, like, he ended the Mantids.
He killed the queen. They can't procreate?
No. They're pretty much done. That's GG's for their society.
Yeah, nice going, Carl. Yeah, but the queen was an asshole, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but you talk about you like things going on outside of the dungeon, and these are cool repercussions that you can think about how, like, from inside of the dungeon they are ending global societies.
That, and the play he sets up at the end, with like his little NPC posse, I thought is setting up for that too.
Yeah, what'd you think about that NPC that he has on his team? Or yeah,
Samantha?
That it was at the no. The one with the tattoos at the very end.
He has an NPC with tattoos.
The elite.
Oh, Signet.
Yeah.
This is where the story kind of loses my interest. Is this with these inner dungeon storylines? This is the best one because she's a character since book 2, and it's interesting how that went. Kind of disappointed with the resolution of that, and really did not care about Tina the bear. I will also say.
Oh yeah, no. That's irrelevant. I mean, it's not because somebody fucked Tina, but that'll come back later.
Sure. Yeah. Something was dropped. Like, what's it? Vra is like the biggest badass in the dungeon. Not Vra. The name that keeps popping up here and there, but I think they like framed him near the end of the book as like someone really scary, and I hadn't like realized that yet.
Centipede?
No, whoever is like the god that was involved in the Tina story, I don't know. These details wash over me.
No, it's the 9-tier attack thing, right?
That's not ringing a bell either. It's fine. It's whatever.
No, that's like a really Scolopendra.
Exactly. I didn't realize he's been mentioned a couple times, but near the end of the book, and they probably mentioned this before, but I glossed over it. They're like, he's like the god who's either created the dungeons or is the scariest in the dungeons. Like, oh, okay, I need to be paying attention to this name a lot more than I have been.
Yeah. If you, dude, it's there is a bunch of shit that got revealed in the most recent book about the in dungeon plot, and I was like only half paying attention. And our friend Ryan is like, "Oh yeah, I think these are what these characters mean, and there's this lore behind that, and I think this is what it's referencing to." I was like, "Dude, I had no idea."
That's me, and every time that's me to you. Like, there's tears to this.
Yeah.
You tell me things like, "Oh yeah, sure."
Yeah.
Man, I'm at a tough point with these books because I keep telling myself I'll give it one more, and then I get 70% through the book, and I'm like, I think I'm good. Then I finish it and talk to you, and like you have so much hope and optimism. Like, wow, Tyler genuinely loves a thing. This does not happen often, but like this was a pretty decent like it was pretty good. I do think this is my last one. Like I'm putting myself to it. Um, just because like I 5 books in, I know what I like about these books. I know what I don't like about these. I love the characters actually. I will actually sing praises. I think the character work is surprisingly good for a game with this kind of like toilet humor. There's a moment in this book where after all the shit goes down, Carl has like a conversation with Donut and she's like talking about why she's not reacting to all the horrible shit that's happened in the way that she thinks she should be reacting. And Carl puts it into perspective in a really interesting and sweet way. And I'm like, oh, these characters are so good. Um, and then it's like, but 70% of the books, I know now, like, I know what to expect. It's like 70% of the shit I'm really not going to be that invested in, and 30% I will be invested in. So, I think I'm calling it here. I'm not calling the series bad. I think it's still pretty good, in fact. Um, but I will say I'm actually really excited for the TV show. I will be following that day one, without a question.
Yeah. We
'Cause-
we actually got Toe to watch some of Ted this weekend. Speaking of the TV show, and he was quite locked in. He was like, "We should watch like 1 or 2 more episodes of Ted."
That's funny. That's awesome.
It's the mannerisms. So like rewatching that show, the mannerisms that they give Ted in order to interact with the environment around him are so well detailed that I'm like, "Ah, they're gonna do such a good job with Donut. I hope."
Oh, dude. So like, all the things I don't care much for the books. It's like all the quest, all the fucking action, which has moments where like I'm locked in, but I've gone on record fucking multiple times as like heavy action scenes is my least favorite part of any book. Um,
Hmm.
as much as I love Wild Bill's works, like I have given him a lot of flack for this too, because man, he loves to
Yeah.
revel in that shit, right? And so much of these books is like, and then we fought the fucking penis-headed sharks for 45 minutes to an hour of the book, and I'm like, yeah, all right, man. Um, however, you put some actors to that. You put some visual effects. Throw in like a practical effect here or two. Should I be so lucky? And that flips like what I can appreciate about it. Where like I can appreciate these things in a TV show medium a lot more when you take into accounting the production and the acting and the choreography. So I think the things that I dislike about the books will shine more in the TV show, and then I don't hopefully the characters are still as good as they are, and we get even a little bit more of the overarching plot. Maybe we get it a little earlier, like the One Piece live action has the honor of like doing, where like they can
Yeah.
squeeze some things in. So we'll see.
Well, I guess you won't get to read the next book, which is about Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh card game.
I was gonna say I actually really like the wacky races concept for the next book. Um,
I
it's
don't know if you would have liked how Wacky Race like if you read Wacky Races, I think that would be the one where you're like, dude, I'm done.
Okay, never mind.
Like it is non-stop action.
On paper, this is like the best concept for a floor from what they've explained. But yeah, if it's nonstop like hijinks and actions, I probably won't care for it much.
It's not hijinks. It's non-stop. They are the AI fucks them up.
Interesting.
Like the AI is pissed off and he is like uh he ends up taking like just completely over and there's no showrunners anymore and he's like, dude, I am pissed off. There's way too many of you fuckers. It's time to clean house.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna like that book very much.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But it's okay.
It's a never say never scenario. Like, there's gonna be a moment where I finish Wall of Storms, and then my soul has left my body, and I need to just not think, and then I have to drive somewhere, and then it might tempt me. But right now, it's out of the rotation. And not in like a super negative way, but I just know what the series is about, and I like it to a degree, but not enough to.
You should read Isles of the Emperor Dark next.
Next is She Who Has Never Known Men, which is a book Kelly's read, so I'm going to message her about it. And then it's Wall of Storms. You hear that,
Yay!
Joe?
Yes.
It's next. It's next.
It's time.
The thing about I Who Have Never Known Men is the actual title, is that it is like a 4.5 hour, and the other day I was doing yard work and I listened to an hour of it. So it's closer than you think. It's either that or it's Mistborn 3, but it's like both of those are getting done. And I'm honestly not that excited for Mistborn 3, but I feel like I should finish the trilogy.
Finish the trilogy.
I know that there's 7 of them. I'll get to the Wayne shit later. In the theming of Willer's yapping, I will. Well, this time other people can yap. I talked Joe into getting into Grandblue Fantasy Relink. I talked about it a little bit. What has been your experience with this, Joe? I've already said a lot of it on the podcast.
This has been a fun, like, this is my friend slop. Like,
it's the most video game of all time. You can't call it friend slop.
Like, my investment into the mechanics are not that deep, but they're there. So, like, when I do get involved, I'm like, okay, I gotta put some effort into it, and like, we have a fun time, and like, we run into fucking Mechagodzilla, we gotta lock in, and that's a lot of fun. But like, I'm not sitting here thinking about like, who am I gonna grind up next for the next weapon or whatever, in my opinion. But like, it hits that itch of like the Monster Hunter itch, where like, it's like, I could go a few rounds and do this kind of thing. I think the game's fun. I wish the characters had like a much more in-depth moveset. Like, I think that's why I like Cagliostro, because he has all those different like weapons that you have to go into, so you have to be very cognizant of like when you call them and use them.
That's so. I guess I don't get that character because she's the simplest character in the game to me. I guess I'm just missing something about her kit, which in itself is kind of an interesting thing that I could like not get it to this degree.
But the thing is, like, it's also not that deep, because it's like, it's I either do the 2 combo to do the area effect around me, or do the 3 combo to do the right in front of me single target attack.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's not that crazy, but like, compared to Zeta, who is just like, if I time well, you die. But that's also kind of cool. So
I think Zeta is the second simplest character in the game, but what she has going for her is her fitting her rotation into her very beneficial counter timing has a very high skill ceiling. So that's where like she makes up for it there.
Yeah, for sure. And I do like that. And I think also like there's Lancelot. Lancelot's a ton of fun because it has like he has the guaranteed freeze. So understanding the boss and like knowing when you should trigger that to like keep like pressure on. Playing
with Joe when he's Lancelot leads to so many like, oh my god, I'm so thankful to have you moments.
It's really gratifying. Like it's like the side effect stuff is really cool because it turns the Monster Hunter aspect on its head, where it's like, rather than you're building up like those statuses, they're just going cooldown, which is kind of the same thing, but you have more control of whenever they're happening.
Mm-hmm. On my part, I've always talked nicely about this game. Playing with Joe is actually like stratosphered my feelings on this game. Actually, like, I'm really high on it. And part of it is I've since gotten into the investment of like going into that stat screen, going into those sigils, looking at every sigil's levels and trying to make sure I'm not like over leveling one of the sigils while also balancing my damage cap, while also balancing this and that. It's scratching a part of my brain that is like even more complex than setting decorations in Monster Hunter, because these effects can go so high. Like, oh, attack can go to fucking 65, but auto life only goes to 20, so I need to make sure, oh shit, I'm at 30 auto life. If I have this sigil, I need to find a good replacement. So it really like is fun to kit out your characters. You watch number go up. Like I mentioned, the characters are like half a Monster Hunter weapon, but there's so many of them, and that's where I think like the skill expression really comes from. Because my main character Beatrix, she seems so simple at first, but the way you can like cycle between her modes and how satisfying it is to hit her like extended combo finishers is really cool. But where I think this game really shines, and the one location where like we finally have something that I think is rivaling Monster Hunter pretty seriously is the fucking boss fights. I think they're so sick. Um, some of the harder. Me and Joe are like over leveled for this fight we fought like recently, where it's the duo, Ornstein
yeah.
and Smog, and we were still like having to lock in because the attack patterns are so insane. It's like once you get to late post game, every fight in this game is like the hardest Monster Hunter fight as far as like how much you're having to keep track of and how much you're having to dodge and shit.
Every fight, as Willard puts it, has a combination of jump ropes and circles.
And I love jump ropes and circles.
Yeah.
And they're insane. Like, they're definitely harder than Monster Hunter fights on paper, but it's balanced by them being more forgiving with the deaths.
Yeah.
You can die a lot more in this game. Even now in Master Rank, when you die, that critical bar fucking drains, but it's still more than Monster Hunter, and you have multiple chances with guts and auto life, like keeping you like from getting downed a couple times.
I think that's like the big thing that I really like about the game is that all of those like in Monster Hunter, it really feels like you should maximize your damage with what you can. And the only reason you're not doing that is because you're not good enough yet, or you just don't have the decorations there yet.
And you'll get there.
Yeah, you'll get there. But like it's just like it never feels like that. And that's kind of like the loop. It's like I want to get eventually to where I can just be doing that as much damage as I can, and I'm also just so good that like I don't need any of my comfort clothes, right? But like I feel like in this game, because of the way damage cap works and the way that like the level stuff works, like you really have to be like, okay, I actually can't max out damage because it's all going to waste for one reason or another. What skills do I need to make the fight easier that is better?
And because of that, there's more build variety because like you are forced to engage with the utility skills in this game.
Yes.
In Monster Hunter, they're kind of there, and if you're fighting Omega, you're gonna slot a couple more of them in. You're still gonna focus a lot on those damage skills. In this game, by design, they really incentivize you to like really play around with what utility skill is best for you, because they're all roughly the same amount of good too. It just kind of fits what you're most comfortable with. Like, am I more of a blocker, a dodger? Which of the skills are going to help me in that? Do I want to get like some blight resistance or whatever? How deep do I want to go into potions and shit? Pretty
you can't
smart
just do
system.
health because damage is tied to like how little health you have too for some of these weapons.
Unless you switch to the weapons where that's not the case, and then it opens up like, oh, I should be using these damage skills because they scale off of health. It's really smart, and while the characters are simpler, the bosses are so much more complex that finding your window to do your good, simple thing is still kind of a cool song and dance.
It feels like you're fighting against, like, from my perspective, it feels like you're fighting against, like, you're in ranked mode in a fighting game, and, like, you are playing against someone that knows stuff better than you, but you are really relying on your fundamentals to really keep yourself alive and, like, get your simple B&Bs in, because that's the best way you know you get damage while he's doing all this fucking shit against you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I feel.
Finding your there's definitely an MMO aspect of like knowing your openings and how much of your rotation you can do, but it's on an actual good combat system, which an MMO could never reproduce. So, Tyler, we've also talked Tyler into playing this. Unfortunately, as of recording, we haven't been able to really play with him. But I think next session it could happen. Fingers crossed.
What?
Right.
Next session.
Yeah, I assumed there would be a next one. Maybe there won't. But it seemed like...
No, I beat it last Thursday.
Yeah, I was saying we haven't gotten to play with you because you hadn't beaten it yet. So next session...
Yeah.
Oh, no, I beat it last Thursday, and I just sit there. I got to the point where you get the dragon guy and you unlock all the new missions and everything.
Mhm.
And then it said, "Yeah, you're ready to party up with people." And so I
I
think I'm ready.
Yeah, you should be good. I think that's also though there are two major things that I do not like about the game. The first one is the story, and you cannot do the story with other people. You are forced to play the story with a character in your party that is kind of lame, is like the most boring character
Yeah.
of all of them, and and like and you are required to do it in order to get into any of the like actual fun stuff, which is like how Monster Hunters do it. But like the difference there is
No,
that
no,
like
no, no. With Monster Hunter, I can do the campaign with friends.
exactly
Well, it
like
depends
it,
on the Monster
asterisk.
Hunter. Even as
Yeah.
early as of Rise, you could not.
yeah, but like that's the thing, right? I think if Tyler would it would be such a much more smoother ride for Tyler if we got to play with him and kind of got to dick around, right?
Yeah.
Like
It
I
is
think
what it
that-
is. We couldn't do it,
Yeah.
but we have stuff to
So,
look forward to now.
I had to take a break after beating it. I was like, okay, I need to mentally reset now that
Yeah,
like y'all yeah, I felt like I had to go do something a bunch to do something fun, and I'm like, oh, that shit sucked. Okay,
yeah. You
let's
have to go eat
reset.
your fucking green beans to get your brownie at the
The
end.
thing
of the day.
I love green beans.
Yeah,
It eats your fucking
first of all, pick a worse vegetable. Spoiler alert: you can't. All vegetables are pretty good.
You have to go eat your
Cornucopia.
grass before you could.
You just fucking eat. Don't even touch grass. Go eat grass, you little freak. No, yeah. The thing is, like, I don't know. I kind of like going through the single player, and maybe it's because I never thought another human being would play it with me, so I was just kind of vibing on my own when I played through it. So I didn't have the expectation of like, oh, I have to do this to go play with my friends.
That's also true. And
I- But yeah. Anyway, we'll maybe revisit this when Tyler finally gets
Yeah.
to play. What's your second thing, Joe? Yeah.
the second thing is I feel that you have to get to a point where you have to like. You don't necessarily have to do it, but like it's very convenient for you to farm up a bunch of these like materials, and to do that, the game has a setting that allows the characters to just automatically do that for you by just turning the game on and letting it go. And I don't like that because that means my PlayStation then has to be used to run these missions over and over again rather than some sort of like cat-based system that will get the materials for me. That feels a lot better. It feels like I can progress in one direction that I know that I need to put effort into, while my cats go get my shitty little
Yeah,
other
but
materials.
you just said it right there. The cats get the shitty shit. You can use this system to
like-
get the good shit if you want.
But to me, that's also a negative because then it's like, why am I playing the game? The game can just do it for me, kind of a
The
thing.
thing is, well, yeah, it can do it for you to a degree, and you don't need to do it unless you are like me, who wants to play all but one character in the game.
Yeah.
So you can very easily ignore that if you have like a favorite 4 or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think, and this is not necessarily a hate. It's more of like a, I wish we could do this, but like, Final Fantasy VII like spoiled me in like the party switching aspect. I wish there was some way to like do that in this game because I think that'd be really fun to like link in your own solo party and then jump to another character.
That would be really
Right.
cool. That's for the sequel.
Yeah,
For the sequel.
and that's a minor thing. That's not like a negative. It's just like it'd be cool if we could do this.
All that said, I've mentioned this before. I actually think Bradley would really like this game a lot more than Monster Hunter, even because the characters are just so much more Bradley coded. All their like, I feel like he would really enjoy the gameplay styles just based on the action RPG games that I know he likes.
I was getting Monster Hunter vibes from watching, and because like that's ultimately the problem. Like this most recent Monster Hunter, I actually really loved the gameplay. I think my only problem once I reached the end game was that like I don't know if the aesthetics of Monster Hunter speak to me. This one, the aesthetics 100% do.
There's characters in this where I'm like, this is one of the most Bradley core playstyles, and it hits both your like Gap Moe, like cute little girl doing badass shit, to this is a guy from Guts Berserk Like some berserk ass knight motherfuckers. Or I'm like, yeah, both of these are both Bradley's strongest aesthetics. So, you can make your own little band of the Hawk with this fucking crew. Um, maybe in the future when you have time. I know you were working through FF7, but you probably haven't even had time for that recently. But
It's been rough.
yeah, okay. That's what I have for Relink. We'll probably revisit this if we can play with Tyler. Maybe later this week, if Tyler has time. I don't. This week's like a little fucky, from what I can tell.
Might
but-
have some time Friday.
Friday was. Yeah. Hold that thought. That might work. Okay, Joe, you have an update on 40K, the 11th edition.
Yes. Okay. So Warhammer 40,000 got its new addition to its rule sets. This is 11th edition, which is, think of this as like, Call of Duty 11, not necessarily Call of Duty 11, but it's like the next monster. It's like the next like big kind of release. It's a whole revamp of the game system and everything. And so like a lot of the meta has been thrown out the door and yada yada yada. And so like when these additions come, there's a lot of shakeups, primarily to the mission-based system and the way how like armies interact. And so for this one has like the most radical change to like the missions, I think, in a while. And so a big complaint about 10th edition, which we just finished, was that those missions, like the game looked the same and played the same every single time. Like you had the same terrain pieces out, you had the same layout, you deployed the exact same. It was very much a honer's game, like where it's just, this is what my army does, this is what I need to do. There's some variations to it, but like I'm going to play this as efficiently as possible, which is not a bad thing. But like it also means it takes out a lot of that fun and flavor of like what 40K was for a lot of people when they first joined, right? So they went to very much the competitive aspect of it, and I think that's fine because I think overall you need a game that is actually like balanced in some way and somewhat like has an idea of like design wise where it should be, rather than like the additions where it's been like, I roll a die, I kill everyone in that unit, and then I kill 3 of my guys, but then I lose the game. Which is like, what are we doing here? Why did we just spend 2 hours of my life to do nothing? So the big thing about this game, the new edition now, is that when you build your army, you have to declare the disposition that your army is going to be. So you can say you're like a disposition that's called Purge the Foe, which is the much more aggressive and attacking base disposition, or you can be Take and Hold, which is like we're going to take our objective points and we're going to hold them, and we're big boys and we're going to like tank everything. But then you have like stuff like Reconnaissance, which is like we're going to get to every corner of the map and we're going to just like skirt around you and try to stay out of combat as long as we can. Like there's all these different ways you can now like tell your opponent how you're going to play your army. And depending on the opponent that you get matched up determines how you will score points for the game. So like if you are, so for example, I was playing a Take and Hold army, which is like I want to be on points, I want to stay there. And my opponent was playing a reconnaissance army, and he had to get units from his armies to the different corners of the map and stay away from the center of the map. So it's like, okay, I score points from holding these objectives, but I also score additional points if I have killed a unit from his army during the turn. But all of his units are staying off of the objectives, so I have to come off the objectives to shoot him, essentially. So it creates this really fun dynamic where like you have to constantly shift and adjust your army to like do what you need to do. I think it's a really cool system. I have a few problems with it though. One is that it's really easy to calculate out how to score points in this game, and so there are armies that are just completely uninteractive. They will literally sit there and they will generate max points every turn, and you can't do anything about that. That's kind of a little silly and a little shitty. Not gonna lie. The other thing I don't like about the game is they have decided that for every matchup, there are 3 different maps you can potentially play on. there are 5 dispositions. They can each go up against them. So I think that means there's 25 combinations, which means there are 3 combinations of maps that are unique to each of those matchups. So that's like 75 different potential terrain layouts. So every game you have to reset terrain for your game because that terrain is very important in where it's placed for those missions. That has added an extra hour to every game of 40K, which was already a 2-hour game. I do not like this at all. It's really frustrating. It also like causes a lot of like arguing over measurements and reading comprehension. Um, and I think it's really really annoying. I played at an a local this past weekend, and I had to find enough time. But like, I got to the second game, and I felt so fucking exhausted from having to set up all the terrain, get everything on the board, and like figure out what mission I was playing, because like each mission is different. And that latter part just comes from playing the game. I'll eventually learn that. The setting up terrain part is so aggravating to me because part of the tournament appeal is that the tables are all set up. You just go to the next table and you just start playing. You're playing 3 games. I I I really think GW has made a huge mistake in like making this a thing where you have to set up terrain for each different um combination, and like it's like there has to be a way where you make 15 different terrain piece combinations and you can adjust it from there, or they're just slight variations. It's really really frustrating, and I am not a fan of that. To the point where me and my friend played 2 games in the local. We dropped from the local and then went played Marvel Crisis Protocol on the side and finished 2 games before they finished the 3rd game.
Fuck.
Yeah. So it's like it was just like, man, like they're like when I'm playing the game, like this game is really I really like how it's playing. Feels really engaging. I feel like there's a lot of like I feel like it's opened up a lot of like unit options to choose from your army. I think the maintenance to it sucks. And I really, really, really don't like that. And I think that's like one of those things where it's like when you're teaching a player a game, or when you're teaching a new player the game, you have to teach them the entirety of the game. And so like I'm going to have to teach the players like you have to set up terrain. This is how you set up terrain. Like and go through that whole process. That's an like it's just the barrier to entry is much much higher from a technical perspective, I think, and I just think that's an overall mistake. But all the previews for my fucking orc army look sick as fuck, so still gonna play for a little bit. But like I also am just like the 3 hours per game, man. That's 9 hours of my life that I have to spend at a game store with guys that cannot remember the rules or keep track of how many wounds a guy has, and I was getting very frustrated on my second game because this other player very clearly was not experienced in playing these types of events, and it's fine, but it's also kind of like it's just frustrating.
Do they shower
So,
at
anyways,
least? I know.
yeah, he did shower.
We'll take it. That's
But
something.
yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like 40K was like the only miniatures game that I really really played a lot of, and then so I played MCP all last year and no 40K, and I'm sitting halfway through the tournament like I could be done with the Marvel game right now and feel like I had way better of a time, and I would have lost by so much more. Like it's just kind of weird. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do any major Warhammer events until like I feel fairly solid. If at any point, because it's just like also the other thing too is like all my friends are now part of like competitive Warhammer team, so like they're actually like the sweats at the store. And I'm like,
Holy.
yeah, like my friend ended up being first in the state of Texas in his faction by the end of 10th edition.
Oh,
So it's
buddy's
like,
fucked. That's his life now.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And so I'm just like, and you know what? It's actually kind of healthy for him because it gives him an outlet that he is passionate about and something to do, and it's something that's been missing from his life. I'm like, awesome, great, cool, glad you found that. I don't think we can play anymore because I'm just gonna lose every time, and like, like it's just, and it's whatever, man. And I like playing like bullshit lists. It's just like my friends have gotten really really into the game, and I don't want to do that with 40K. I love Marvel. I like sitting there and formulating with Marvel so much because it's so much simpler, it's so much quicker, and I can like run those ones and really get feedback really quickly. Whereas like 40K, they run like tabletop simulator games, and it still takes them like 2 to 3 hours. I'm like, I don't know, man. That's a lot of like time I have to put into this game, and if I want to be as good as y'all are, I'm gonna have to play 100 games. That's 300 hours of playing this game essentially, and I don't think I really want to invest in doing that. I'm gonna play every once in a while, but I kind of just don't want to invest that much time into it.
I definitely relate in the struggles of time and money investment in some of these
Yeah, yeah,
extracurricular hobbies, and it's like, fuck, man, it's tough to keep up.
yep.
Honestly, it seems like the MCP is treating you so well. Like
Oh
every
man,
time you
dude.
talk about MCP, you're like so happy.
Oh, it's like it clicks all of those boxes, man. Like I want to like bring a team of like 5 teams to y'all, and we just like spend a day and we're round robbing playing teams, and we're like just kind of trying out all these different ways that the characters play because it does the things that I really like. It feels very flavorful, and you feel very when you come up with a smart play and pull it off. It feels so rewarding. Like I created that scenario and capitalized on it. Like that's what makes me. That's what like makes those tactical and strategy games feel so good. Is I've formulated a plan, executed, accomplished. And MCP does that, I think, much better, a lot more variety, and a lot quicker. But yeah, that's 40K. Once again, no one should get in 40K ever at all.
So speaking of MCP,
Yeah.
that's not the only Marvel related media we've been into lately. Wait, none of you are
Yes.
talking about Spider-Man. I guess that movie sucks fucking ass, huh?
Oh, I saw Spider Man. I just didn't want to bring it up because like y'all don't watch the Marvel movies anymore, and oh, okay, Tyler's dying.
No, he's not dying. He's chipmunking.
Why is he doing that right now?
Is
Okay,
that
bye.
weird
Me?
bit?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
I think it's because I'm compiling.
Oh.
The end of, you sounded like the end of Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Oh man, is it going off again?
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have to do like a max level compile because anyway, I was gonna go see it in theaters and then I decided to just pirate it because Disney has enough money. And I pirated it and then just haven't sat down to watch it yet.
My quick review
Yeah,
is
Joe.
I think this is my favorite live action Spider-Man movie.
Wow.
Yeah, I think this is the first Spider-Man movie that I have watched. I'm like, this is actually Spider-Man. Like this is just like what the character is and how it should be, and this is a Spider-Man story. I think it's really really good. It's also about to make $2 billion.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's I think it's really good. I do recommend seeing it if you do get a chance.
Yeah,
I did not like no. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, you and I are the only No Way Home haters up until the internet caught up with like the fact that that movie has no substance.
Mm-hmm.
um, but my mom was like, "Hey, do you want to watch Spider Man?" I was like, "One, you care about Spider Man?"
Yeah.
But then but then we're both like, nah. So I don't think I think I might watch this movie when it hits streaming pirating.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
And not webcam rips, Tyler. I have standards. When it hits proper streaming. Dude, are y'all excited for Doomsday?
I'm excited.
Wait, what'd you say, Bradley?
He said he's
I mean,
excited.
I am excited, but I know there's gonna be like half the cast of the movie is gonna be people I have no attachment to, but I've accepted that now.
It's fair. I'm just kind of waiting for the ride, man. At this point, like, this is very like much like we're bailing. We thought we could like extend the momentum when we really needed to like pause, reset, and so now we are doing the full nuclear explosion.
No, it's so desperate. Like I watched
Yeah.
that trailer, and the only thing I could feel was desperation of Cap is back. Fucking RDJ is Doom. Doom is the scariest guy. Thanos, that was bitch nothing. He killed half the universe. You guys don't know what this guy's about. Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
That trailer actually put me off. Like, there was a world where I would have come back in for that and like been excited for Spider-Man as a result.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, dude. And the thing is, like, I'm in it for the ride. I just watched so many good horror movies this summer, and Evil Dead Burn. And that is just such a better use of my money. Like,
yeah. Totally.
Oh man, it sucks. I want to like this so much, but part of it is also like, Bradley's like, I have no attachment to these characters. I watched Thunderbolts. I'm like the only person in the world that realizes that movie's mid as hell. Everyone was like, Marvel's fucking back. I was like, guys, we fought furniture for 9 out of 10 fights in the movie, had awkward humor against each other, and then like, I don't know, one of the best scenes is them climbing a tube like you do in the game No Way Out. Just like, I don't know if we watched the same movie. So I don't know, like, even when people were like, the Marvel movies are good now, Thunderbolts kind of made me question if we're looking for the same things. So I'm gonna wait to see the reviews on that, but the concept of an Avengers movie not being immediately like exciting to me is kind of weird. It's kind of upsetting.
Welcome to the Star Wars fandom.
Jesus Christ! I could not imagine, dude. I could not imagine being a Star Wars fan if this is how I feel about the MCU. Like, that's
man. Side tangent. There are 2 Star Wars games coming out this year. Yeah, I'm both excited for them, and both of them have been getting great previews. So I'm like, what the fuck is happening with me? And I like the Star Wars movies, shows, whatever. Andor was great, but like that's about it. But like the games apparently are starting to kick off now, and I'm excited.
Cosmonaut Marcus seemed to not hate Grogu, and I was like, really? Not what I expected, but okay.
That movie's fine. It's whatever, man.
It's whatever, man.
Yeah.
So on to like other Marvel news recently is Marvel Tokon finally fully came out, and Joe's been getting pretty into this, which is pretty exciting.
I wish I could play this more, but like with my niece being born and like I had like just other prior game experience over the weekend, I really don't have a lot of time in the game, unfortunately, right now, which is sad.
Yeah, I checked earlier. I have 8 hours. I put in like a 30-40 minute stretch right after work today.
Yeah, and like I did a little bit of gaming before hand, and like I had a fun time, and like it definitely is though. Like I don't know about you, Willa, but this is the fighting game for me where like I feel like the gears take a longer time to get going for me to feel comfortable in fighting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm letting you talk first because I like starting with positivity.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I like the game. It feels like the first like tag fighter where I'm like, oh, okay, I can kind of understand what we're going here, what we're trying to do.
That's
here.
crazy. That just goes to show that, like, I don't know, not enough time was put into 2XKO or something in comparison.
Maybe, but like
this game is fucking nonsense, bro. Like this game is cancer to me because of my fighting game experience. Like,
it's radioactive.
And like the pros are getting into it, and part of it is like this has the potential to be like Street Fighter's rival because it's fucking Sony cross ArcSys cross Disney Marvel. They have the budget. This is a whole ass product. Like, this is as far as like a product, this is one of the best fighting games ever released. There's like a lot of good content. It looks gorgeous. There's like a cool story mode. There's cool single player modes. There's a bafflingly...
I was surprised the amount of content there is in the game.
Yeah, like and it's like you can just have a lot of fun with the single player. It's got like solid lobbies. It has cross play on release, asterisks. It came out
Yeah.
on PC on release, double, triple asterisks. But like, and then it has a bafflingly bad city trial mode where it's like, oh, this shit sucks. This is such a bad mode.
What is that? The little like fucking chibi minigames shit?
Yeah, the thing about it, Joe, is you spend half the time pressing square and triangle and doing like one attack on each other in the lobby. Like you have to fight in the lobby. What the fuck, dude? What are we doing?
Yeah,
I was excited at the concept of like fighting like maybe CPUs and doing mini games and getting buffs and then fighting other people like a proper city trial. Half of this is you playing footsies in the fucking lobby. Like, you know how in 2XKO you can do like the air dash?
Yeah,
It's like if they made a game around that mode. That's what they did. It's actual insanity. But like it has all this going for it. But then you get to the gameplay and this shit was designed by aliens. I just don't fucking understand, dude. Like, it's the worst feeling fighting game I've played in actual decades. Like, and I can say this now as a fucking unk. It has the worst neutral in any modern fighting game because it takes the tag fighter thing that I don't like, which is neutral is you jump up in the air, hope your beam assist gets a hit, and then scramble and get a combo. And the scrambling part is fun. But something that I love about Street Fighter is that you have 6 attack buttons. You have to know which one to use for whatever space. That's cool. And even like 2XKO is a team game where like, yeah, that's very assist heavy too. But because it's 2v2, it still has fucking neutral. Like neutral is my favorite part of fighting games, so I'm gonna like dig into that a little bit. But this neutral is just fucking 8 characters on the screen slop. Like it's absurd, dude. And then on top of that, like the controls just don't feel right. It's part of the how I said it's the worst feeling. Like, why did this assist come out, not that assist? Why did the assist not come out at all? Why did my special not cancel there? Where did my air dash go? Like, why am I doing a DP right now? Like the input buffer is so fucked.
Oh yeah, it's really bad. And like as someone that's not as ingrained in fighting games as you are, I could feel it, right?
It's
like,
just not responsive.
Like, yeah, and like I was having that issue today where it's like I was doing a combo. It's like I try to call out Iron Man. I'm like, why is Iron Man missing his beam when I am very clearly like hitting? I should be hitting the assist button when I'm doing the final part of this like special.
Well, Joe, you hit neutral assist, so he does the assault assist. You should have pressed forward assist. Now, the thing about pressing forward assist is that there's less hit stun, so you need to play around that. And it's like, what are we doing here, man? And it's like, we need to be bigger than Marvel 3. How can we do that? 4 characters. Well, that's stupid and insane. So let's make all these restrictions on the movement and the gameplay so that 4 characters is not overwhelming. And it just makes you think, hey, idiots, maybe you should never have designed a game around 4 fucking characters because obviously it's a bad idea. Because, like, they have to do all these restrictions so the game is not absolute degeneracy. And it's still gonna get that way because trust me, brother, I've played against the Spider-Man, so
man,
I know how filthy this gets, and I've seen Green Goblin clips. And it's like also the queue times are extremely long.
Oh,
what the hell?
Fucked up with ranked matchmaking. Like,
there has to be, right?
Yeah.
It's either that or the game is so casual, like marketed, that no one's on ranked.
I can't believe that though. There's no way. Like
it's baffling.
Because like I go into a lobby and there's tons of people there. I can just start a game up immediately. It's
in a lobby because that's casual play. I genuinely think that's where people are hanging out.
Yeah, and like it's just, but like I that just seems baffling to me that if that was like the case.
I don't know. To be fair, the game has like a bunch of auto combos, has a bunch of like beginner-friendly tools. But the thing is, all of fighting game Twitter is on this. This is like everyone's main game because like as much as great as Street Fighter is, they're never changing like the core of that game, and it's been 4 years. So everyone's like moving on to the next thing. That should be Tokon, where the fuck are all the players at, dude? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, unless there's like a severe gap where, like, because I am in silver, unfortunately, right? And
But
so,
you
like,
have
unless
to
there's-
imagine everyone like starts in bronze and silver. There's no way you're lacking in players to play with. I refuse to
Yeah.
believe that. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
like,
in
it's-
upper gold, lower platinum right now, and
yeah.
I have queue times that are like, am I playing like Under Night in Birth? Like, what are we doing
Yeah.
here?
Like, what is, like, there has to be something fucked up with the ranked matchmaking.
Which
Like, I just, like,
brings me to like a weird thing. This game released so bad on PC.
oh yeah.
And people, you know how people don't have lives and they live on the internet. People were
Yeah.
genuinely thinking that Sony sabotaged this game to make it so they don't have to get games on PC, and I'm like, my brother in Christ. Sorry, anyone like, no, I'm not gonna say that. This isn't their IP to gamble with. This is fucking Marvel Disney, dude. They have a gun. They have a gun to the fucking CEO's head right now. If this doesn't have a return on investment.
Fucking Bob Iger called EA during the whole Battlefront fiasco and told them to turn that shit off.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. Like,
if I had to be realistic about it, ArcSys PC ports they range, and I think they were strict on a time budget with this game, where they're like, first of all, it needs to work perfectly on PS5 because it's a Sony game, but also we want to get it out before Spider-Man, before Doomsday, and start like part of like the Marvel hype cycle, because Doom is like a prominent character in this. So I just think that they were rushed, and guess what? They somewhat fixed the PC port in like 4 days. So like, you guys are insane. It was just kind of a rush launch. It's fine.
yeah,
But it kind of like crossplay is still a bit funky apparently. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, man. Like, I like playing the game. Don't get me wrong. And like but it's also one of those things where it's like, when I was playing on my Street Fighter streak, I was like really getting the Cammy. Like, I really want to learn that character, and I did, and like just like everything I liked about her, and like, you know, I play against Austin. Like, I'm not at his level on like rank ladder stuff, but we still run good matches against each other, right?
Yeah.
And it's probably a bigger gap now because I haven't played in like a year and a half.
Austin's
like,
really fucking good. Austin has like
oh, man.
2 characters in Master, which is almost as much as I have.
He's
However, his hour count is very high, but he's like he's in that shit.
He's like the shonen protagonist, like, to actually go through fighting games.
Yeah.
But he also does the most whack ass meaties. And you're like, come on, brother.
No,
like,
that makes him more shonen protagonist. It's when Gon like headbutts you at the risk of breaking his neck.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But like, so for this game, I'm not taking it nearly as seriously. Like, I'll like swap between stuff, and I like doing the combo trials and whatever. And part of that is like, it's the unfortunate cycle of like, I play MCP, very mobile brain. I can come home and play my mobile video game. I'm kind of just stuck in the fucking marketing cycle. It sucks, right?
You're in the magic white woman mind control.
Correct. And so like, I get that, but it's also kind of like, whatever. Lobbies are full. I can go play lobbies and have a good time there and not worry about it. And you know what? I'm fine with that.
Maybe I gotta go play lobbies next time I play, man.
Yeah. But man, at the same time, I want to lab and fucking matchmake, man. Like, what? Actually, you know what we should do, Willer, to like actually like see the ranked versus casual, is we go into casual matchmaking and see what happens.
True.
Like, how quickly does that happen?
True.
Because,
But that's
like,
another part, right? You have lobbies, casual, and ranked. You can't queue up for all of them.
Yeah.
So
fair.
it's like, I feel like the player base is really divided. But dude, I'm sitting in training mode for minutes in a game that came out 4 days ago that had more players than Street Fighter Beta, which means it's popular. So like, I don't know what's happening.
But
it's
and
so
like, I was
confusing.
getting this during the beta too, so it's like, it has to be something with the ranked matchmaking, because like, there's no way, because like, they had like, I think 30,000 players on the beta.
That's so healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
like,
a fighting
so
game.
healthy.
Sorry, we're not shooter or like whatever here.
Yeah. It's not fancy Relink when we have to, for some reason, have 4 players.
Alright, what the? I found out everyone's just grinding the hardest quest in the game, so that's why we can't find anyone.
Yeah. Anyways, like, it's just like, I just need like, one other person within like 3 or 4 ranks. Like, what's going on here, gang? like I don't understand.
And like,
Uh,
the thing is, whenever I play this game, I will have 4 matches where all of them make me like the game less, and then one
Yeah.
match where I like the game a little bit more. So it's like a negative trajectory, but maybe it can be salvaged. Because the thing is, the characters in this game are really cool, and it looks really
Yeah.
pretty, and the combos are cool. It just controls like dog water, and has
Yeah.
all these little problems that are so annoying, dude. It's so
It just-
anti-me.
Yeah, the motion button, the inputs, just the buffer needs to be better. And
Dude,
like, it's so weird because like
when I'm running and I'm trying to do like block
my
pressure as Miss Marvel, I just keep
Yeah.
getting the DP command grab 2 feet away from the motherfucker when I
Oh.
wanted medium kick, and I'm just like, oh my god, dude, I'm getting punished
Dude.
now.
yeah, or God,
Or I just hate when my assist doesn't come out and I check, I have the
That's-
green bar. The green bar is
Yeah.
there, I see it. Where's my
yeah,
assist?
that's the most frustrating thing, and it's also one of those things where it's like, how am I off by a microsecond that I'm not getting the neutral attack? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's just
It's
there's
so
a lot of like
But again, the characters are really good. Like what team are you running, Joe?
I'm running the same team I was doing before, which was Magic, Iron Man, Wolverine, and Magneto.
And you better
and, like,
believe Wolverine's never hitting the field.
oh yeah, you gotta believe that shit. Magneto though, love that guy. That Magneto is like so cool.
Put
Like,
Magneto on back assist. His
Oh yeah, for sure.
back assist is incredible.
I like Magneto has so much style when he combos too. He looks so sick. Like the when he does the special where he knocks you in the air and then he throws a bunch of shrapnel. He has a giant metal collar and he just slams you into the ground. I think that shit is
I like how he
so
holds the
cool.
pose and he's like vibrating
Yeah.
like he's in a fucking PS1 like arcade game.
Yeah, like it's just I think it's got so much great style that makes, and that's part of the I guess like the Oonga Boonga brain of like whenever you do shit, it looks cool. And, like,
Yeah.
that's the first time in a fighting game where I really felt that. Like, you know, like because I was doing a lot of bread and butter stuff with like Cammy, but like it's so easy to do something cool looking in this game,
Yeah.
which I think is like the big gap closer for me and you. I think for it, and I do, and like each character does feel unique, even though they are very samey, but they do have some.
The assists are more samey, and so are like I've noticed a lot of block strings. Like you do the EX for the low or the
Yeah.
high, and every character
Yeah,
has
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's like that's a little bit weird, but the combos feel different. The zoning tools are different, so it's like it's acceptable.
Yeah,
And you got
it's
4
just-
of the motherfuckers, so
Yeah, and it's just like the problem is just like the rank matchmaking needs to be fucking investigated like it's like a murder mystery, and then also I just need the inputs to feel better. Like I'm doing combo trials for Magneto because I want to like get the colors. Also, unlocking colors I think is like a great fucking thing in fighting games.
not when
But-
it's locked to go play 100 matches of survival. I don't want to fight the CPU, dude.
That one's fucked up.
If-
I will say that.
If you could just get them by playing like 1,000 fucking ranked matches eventually, I would be cool with that. But if it's locked only to single player content, I never want to play. I would never want to fight a CPU in my life in a fighting game. There's nothing to be gained for me personally.
True.
Unless it's like a wacky like roguelike mode or something.
It
but
is a
even then-
roguelike mode.
There is.
That's what you have to do. It's a 100-floor survival roguelike mode where like you get different buffs and stuff for your characters. And you get
Interesting.
different things.
We so my team is we've been going on a while, but like my team
Yeah.
right now is Loki and Star-Lord kind of alternating on point. This is a game where you play 2 characters primarily.
Yeah.
I mean, pros are playing like 1, which I think is interesting. And then I have my flex slot is either Danger or Miss Marvel, and they both suck. So it's like, all right, I got my struggle slot on down. And then my
Always.
left slot is Black Panther. She's holding it down with her really good assist. And if I
Yeah.
ever put her on point, she is the most powerful character on my team by tier list standard. So I got her out there.
Yeah.
She's so cool in this game. Oh my god.
I maybe you have a concept for this, Wooler, but like I've been tossing this around when I've been talking to my friends for like miniatures game. But like when you make a mini like miniatures list like in Marvel or in like Warhammer, like whenever I make a list, I always make sure to cognizantly bring a character that is just standardly good, but doesn't necessarily fit in the theme or like entirely within like the
This
thought
is
process plan.
mandatory in team games. Once you
Yeah.
go to 3v3 and up, you have to have a function character.
Yeah.
It's just the law.
Function character is a good way to put it. In the MCP update, I just happened they killed my function character. I'm like, well, I gotta figure something else out.
New function just dropped.
Yeah. So
the cool thing
yeah.
about BP is like she's a function character, but also she's the coolest Black Panther in any piece of media that I've ever
Oh,
experienced.
she's so sick.
The
spear
spear
awesome.
wielding. She's got like beam cannons from the Wakandan tech. She's so cool. And then like I love both Miss Marvel and Danger. They're both kind of struggle characters, but man, Loki and Star-Lord are so sauced up. They're so easy to play. Like when their fucking commands work. The thing that really gets me, Joe, is switching. Why the fuck is switching mid combos so frustrating? Like when you do an assist, there's this arbitrary buffer time that is really badly telegraphed where you can't swap, and then you have like half a little second where you can press it. It's just so weird and restrained.
Do you when you call the assistant, do you hold the swap button?
I don't know, man. I don't know what it all feels bad. I don't know what works. I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah. Everyone's struggling.
Anyways,
Tokon.
that's
Solid
Tokon.
C plus B minus struggle game.
3 out of 5.
Yep.
I hope
So
to love
play
it
a
one
lot
day.
though.
Yeah, no, I really want to like it. So I was so excited for this game. However, Avatar Legends is maybe the best fighting game I've ever played. So,
See, here's the thing.
We reached
with
the
this
opposite.
IP, I feel like most of the stuff they've done with the Avatar IP since the original Avatar came out has been lackluster because they've made games. And I don't know. I feel like this is the first one that really knocked people's socks off.
The thing is, I was talking about how good of a product Tokon is. Avatar Legends is not a good product. They released it obviously early because they needed to get it out for the Avatar Aang movie. It doesn't have ranked. The lobbies are locked to 2 players. It mercifully has crossplay and rollback netcode, so it has everything you actually need.
Yeah.
It is $30. The story mode is more like a humorous jank shit. Also, the CPUs are fucking hard in that. But like, it's missing so many things you need out of a release package. Like, how do you not release with a ranked mode? So it's got stuff working against it. You were gonna say, Joe?
I was gonna say like the 2 games separated are like weird mid games. Together they form one Kusuge game. If you take their worst parts together.
Yeah. The thing about it is, I've just mentioned all these bad things about Avatar. At the end of the day, once you load into a match, you are dealing with the boldest, most refreshing, like revival, reinvention of what a 1v1 fighting game should be that I have ever seen. And 1v1s are my bread and butter. I've never been much into the team shit, but I follow 1v1 fighting games a lot. And I was mentioning, Street Fighter is amazing. There's flaws in that game that they're never going to address because, like, it's surprisingly, like, the most balanced fighting game that, like, maybe exists right now. They've struck this systems-based approach, but it's a systems-based approach that you're not going to want to play for, like, 6 years religiously. Avatar, on the other hand, is so expressive. It's so movement-based. It's so neutral-heavy. The combos are so character unique, but also saucy and very hard. If you want to get to the optimal shit. But also, like, you can just move around and press buttons and do good damage. To the point where, like, when this came out, my night that day was not playing with other people. It was actually playing, like, 2 hours with Tyler. And I had a great time. This is a fighting game that even Tyler's played. Maybe you can speak to it a little bit, even though I know you haven't played too much.
I got to play and try and learn like 3 or 4 different characters. Good 1v1 fighting game for sure. Like, every single character has depth. You have drive rushes in it.
And they're all
like,
unique. All the movement options are unique per character.
Yeah, I this. I was talking with somebody in one of my One Piece discords, and they're like, "Oh man, any fighting game that has infinites to like a one-hit combo into infinite is like a no-go for me." And I'm like, brother, dude, these fucking games don't mess around, you know? Like, it's like that, it's very difficult to execute anything in this. And I think
Yeah.
that's the thing.
You have your basic
Or at least for
combos
me.
that you do. No, dude. No, this game's sweaty.
Yeah,
Why-
no, like, this
why
game's
is
super sweaty.
The Avatar game is the sweatiest fighting game to come out in 20 years, which is not in my bingo card.
Yeah. It's pretty nutty. It's a Gratim, man. It's for sure a Gratim when I'm chick a crit, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. The games are fast. The movement's fast. They're snappy. You just hit replay and
great.
suddenly you know you've played 20 rounds.
Yeah.
I got onto a 1st to 10 against Austin the other day, and 40 minutes pass and it's become a 1st to 40. I'm like, Austin, we have to stop. He's like, no. It's like
1st to 40, brother.
And it's
1st to
like
40.
and it's like 39 to 2, but we're just like banging these out. Like, they're just so fun.
It's fun.
And also, like, Tyler, fun fact about infinites in this game, there's a hard 11-second combo timer where after 11 seconds you can use half of your flow bar to escape anything. So even like the crazy part is the second combo you learn in 2xKO is 12 seconds. So it's like by default this is like a shorter combo than that game time frame, which I appreciate.
I still feel like 11 seconds is a long time.
Shit, man, you get level 3'd in Street Fighter and you gotta watch the cutscene too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but you're not pressing buttons there. You can go get a drink.
Yeah, honestly, you do need that time to think about if you're gonna get throw loop next or what you're gonna do on wake up. But like, not these like specials are snappy. The supers are snappy. The movement's really fast. Optimally, every round is like 3 to 4 hits. It feels really good unless you like really pop the fuck off with resources. Tyler was playing Kiyoshi, Toph, and Sokka, who are all wildly different characters from each other.
Yeah, they are insanely different.
Sokka is like a high execution sauce lord. He's got so many neat little gimmicks to him, but his damage is insane. He is the planner. Kiyoshi is also a big body, insane damage character with like the biggest normals you've ever seen. And I was going to say but there is no but. She's just kind of insane in the right hands. And then Toph is the easiest character in the game. She is so powerful. So strong. And that's not to say she's not saucy. She has so many cool tools, including like earthbending someone towards her, like by literally moving the ground, or creating artificial walls that she can use to like create new combos or even side switch. Yeah, I play Katara, which is pretty handedly the hardest character in the game. The community has come to agree where her like, okay, here's her basic bread and butter. It does 23%. Oh, you want any more damage than that? Like, any more damage than that? You're going to have to learn the hardest Link in the game. To, like, unlock anything beyond that. I was like, oh, cool. So, I have, like... I can kind of get it now, though. I get it, like, 50% of the time. I've landed it in matches, but holy shit, I haven't had to try this hard in so long. That said, I'm not going to downplay her. I think she's the strongest character in the game. She aside from her execution, she has fucking everything. She is blessed amongst the heavens. It's just that, like, Toph and Kiyoshi and Azula get easier damage and, like, rush down than she does, but I have tools for everything, motherfucker. It feels really good. Yeah, I love this game. It again,
She's got the
incomplete package.
Alaskan woman normal suite.
No, she doesn't. She's lacking in sweeps, but what she does have is water whip stance, and then
She has that big water whip that hits low.
that is a sweep. That's true. That's beyond white woman sweep, bro. That's next level.
I didn't say white woman. I said Alaskan
woman sweeps. Yeah, Bradley, did you pick up this game? I know you're a big Avatar mark.
I really wanted to. I just didn't have time, and also I was like, I want to wait and see when I do have time to play this if people are still playing it, because I'm like, by then I guess the verdict will be out on whether it was actually good or not.
I think like
This is a darling. Like I think this
Yeah.
has legs. It doesn't have Tokon or Street Fighter legs, but everyone that genuinely loves fighting games knows that this game's the shit.
And their roadmap for the future made it even more enticing.
The DLC characters are pretty sick. I'm excited for Ty Lee because I have a suspicion she's gonna be a grappler, which is not what you expect out of a tiny woman. But I think she's gonna like latch onto you and like poke your shit. You know what I mean? Like get your like flow gauge reduced by like poking your chakra nodes or whatever. Could be cool. Amon and King Boomy are probably the ones in the vote because there's like a DLC vote. Amon is my only other chance of getting a waterbender because if you look at the history of Avatar, the only other waterbender that's notable in the series is an assist character to Zahir. So, okay, Amon is my only other shot. However, he's more like a...
dog. You're gonna get the Moon Twins, the Water Twins.
Yeah, in like season 7, if the game gets there, I'm gonna get 10 firebenders before I get my next waterbender.
But before we get the twins, we'll get the armless lady from Zahir's
she's
crew.
an assist for Zahir.
She's
That's
an
what
assist.
we're talking
well,
about.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was the assist. I guess you're fucked then.
Fun fact for Zahir, if his wife, Puli, gets hit 3 times, he breaks his earthly tethers and gains infinite flight, which is lore accurate. Didn't mention this. The game has a critical hit system where you have to, like, do little side missions during the fight, and they kind of relate to how your character plays, especially with, like, characters like Zora.
Zoro.
Who am I trying to say? Korra and Zuko. They have like really saucy ones. Like one of Lord Ozai's is if he command grabs Zuko, he drains half of his flow gauge because he's traumatizing him, which is just so unfair. But Zuko grows in his redemption meter, which is like his mechanic, which fits his show. They love this so much, dude. There's a thing where there's assists in the game, and they kind of like change up how your character plays. You don't actually summon them unless you're Zahir. He does get to summon them as like assists. But there's a thing where like if you're playing Azula, and you pick Lo and Lee, you get 2 modes. One of them is Fire Lord mode. One of them is Focus mode. Fire Lord mode's when she's insane at the end of the show. If you pick the broken mirror of her mother, like she has beef with, you're always in Fire Lord insane mode. If you pick Julie, help me out here, Avatar heads. I think it's
Julie, do the thing.
It's Judy.
Judy. If you pick Judy,
Yeah.
she's always calm, so she doesn't switch that way either. If you pick Lo and Lee, you get to play both. However, if you lose one round, because in the show she like, leave, Lo, you can stay. They do that where like in the background, either Lo or Lee is gone because they got banished in between rounds. So it's like, why did they do that? Like, there was no reason to do this. They do all sorts of like cute little things like that. That was the big fighting game section, but that is like Avatar especially is the game I've put the most time into this month. So I really just wanted to gush about it, and it is a miracle kind of game, even if it's a little unfinished and rough around the edges.
Kasuge game.
It's not Kasuge, man. It's not.
No, it's half. It's
yeah.
Like the...
Yeah, I guess so. I don't fucking know. It makes me so happy when I play it. The other day I had like a Tokon session. I was like, okay, 30 minutes of Avatar. It became an hour of Avatar. I loved every moment of it. Okay, speaking of Avatar, there's an Avatar movie that came out, which...
Yeah.
So, is it officially out now?
It's officially
out.
So
Yeah.
Bradley had watched this in other means, but he was like, I'm gonna hold on to this for a little while. And since then, Tyler has watched it semi-legally, I believe.
I watched it fully legally.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
Well, I'll be the first to say I feel like any fan of Avatar should watch this movie. It is pretty fantastic. It just kind of felt like the old show to me. It felt like we finally got Book 4 air.
Wow, that's great. That's great to hear.
I think we could have gotten more out of Book 4 air. I think. I have some pacing problems with the movie, if I'm being honest. I think the movie is good. I just don't. I think it could have been better.
That's the common consensus I get. I get that it's a gorgeous movie, but
Oh,
it's
it's beautiful.
a little light in the story, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the thing is like very early on in the movie, they introduced this group called the Denied, which is like the impetus of like it's like they do something, and he's like, I gotta figure out what's going on, and like the movie proceeds, um, and they get dropped for the next 80% of the movie, and then become relevant in the last 10% of the movie, and it's just kind of like something was cut here, and there I feel like they needed to like have that section in there as to bringing them back.
Mm. That's Warner Brothers' fault.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a big behind the scenes where they Paramount came in and outsourced a studio from Australia and gave them a bunch of funding and money to like do the animation for the movie, and they like what happened is they didn't have like a full um they didn't have like the script and everything finished yet. And
Yeah.
so they like the company hired a bunch of people, and then they had to like keep doing other jobs to keep the company afloat while
Oh.
yeah, while they finish the script for the movie. And so like they would send them blocks of like sections of stuff like, and what's it called when they do like a slight animation? They're like, this is what the scene should look like.
Storyboard?
Yeah, they kept sending them storyboards, and they would animate those storyboards and like block it out, and then they would be like, we have no context for what's before or after this, you know.
That feels
So
like it.
yeah.
And here's the thing, even in a perfect world where everything's firing on all cylinders, there's certain limitations that kind of just come with the nature of it being a movie. Like, for example, you have to fit everything you want to in a certain time frame, and also there's limitations that come from the fact that there's already a series before and after this. So it's like whatever they would want to choose for the conflict, it has to be as big as possible to be exciting, but it can't be so big that it wouldn't have been that like it's weird that it wouldn't have been mentioned in Korra. Like like if it was a giant world-shaking event big enough, you'd be like, why didn't they mention this in Korra? So they have to find something that's like important to the characters without being earth-shaking enough.
Yeah, I think like it's. I feel like a better story would have been they wrap up the Zuko mother storyline to me, but like that was already a comic, and I think they didn't want to like stray from that because I think that's still like canon in some aspects. But like to me, it like I really wanted to see more of our team Avatar because I love all of those characters together. I think the chemistry between all of them is so good, and really what makes Avatar is like Toph, Zuko, Katara, uh, Sokka, like all and Aang, like just all together, and they're clowning off, and they're all different personalities, but they all understand each other. They all have like this like bond, right? So it's our shonen anime group, right? And like I feel like I didn't get enough of that. I didn't get enough of like Zuko and Toph doing their own thing. Like the scene where they're in the airship and the airship's falling down is great. Like I love that scene. It's a great scene. But like I just want more of that kind of stuff of them together, right? And them bantering like in the tent as well. And I just didn't get enough of that. And I wish there was more. Like there's a lot of focus on Aang, which is fair. But yeah.
Yeah, and like I kind of get that because when you've been waiting so long to see these characters on screen again, that's kind of all you want to like. You're like, fuck, I just want to see them fucking interact.
Yeah.
As a movie that is focusing on Aang specifically, though, I feel like it did an amazing job.
Mhm.
I
Joe, be quiet.
okay, whatever, man.
I have like a speech I was gonna give about this movie.
Speech.
I didn't write it down, but I had some ideas and like bullet points I wanted to hit. That, by the way, the company that animated this studio also did Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie.
Mhm.
Let Willer know he can rejoin for my speech.
Uh,
So I want to talk about this movie and another movie, which is like let's take away plotting so much because we've gotten so much story with all these characters. We love them, you know
yeah,
them. Like Joe said,
fair.
you just want more. You know, like I also crave these characters, but this movie was so well animated.
Oh, it's
It is
gorgeous.
it is a beautiful fucking movie, and like there is no animated movie without like its plot holes or anything like that because it's for children. It can be a little it doesn't have to be solid the whole time.
Uh,
The fact that they were considering not releasing this movie in theaters is, in my opinion, testament to say that there are so many companies with just so much money now that have no idea how to make shit anymore.
Let me
Like,
tag me in as an assist. Paramount has mishandled, and Bradley alluded to this, Avatar for how long has it been?
yeah,
Is it decades?
decades.
Are we on
Decades.
decades of mishandling Avatar? One of the greatest
yeah.
franchises of all time.
It
Like,
came
what the
out
fuck
in
are we doing?
2005. It came out 2 years
Brother!
ago. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like,
Like
how
the
like
fighting
this
games quick release is because of them. They haven't
Yeah.
done anything good with the franchise. They did the shitty live action shit. Oh my god.
the
Twice.
concept of making something this high quality and going, no, that probably doesn't deserve to like be put out in theaters of the world where people, they think that people won't like this. They're so far fucking detached from the goddamn plot that, in my opinion, it is like the sure, like, I don't know why this is completely stupid, but like in some conceptual way, I somehow like tie the rise of successful economy in American society to like 2D animation from like the 40s through 60s, and we like talk about Hanna-Barbera and all this other like propaganda type 2D animation shit and all these glorious orchestras that go behind like the, even like I said Tom and Jerry because that's just the most recent one I saw. There's this like orchestra
Mhm.
video of them playing Tom and Jerry where like people used to bitch about doing the score for Tom and Jerry because it was so fucking complicated. And they're like, "Nah, Beethoven, fine. Tom and Jerry, fuck that shit." Um,
That's too hard, man.
Yeah.
yeah, no, they were like, "No, dude, this is shit. It's crazy." But like, it is just the collapse of there's so much money at the higher end in American business and politics that there is no longer a means for them to create a product for people to consume anymore. It is consistently about just the shuffling of money at the top. Like
Yes.
everything is a guise. Everything is made as a guise to just think that you are buying a product. No, everything that's made is really just some idea about shifting around like 20 million or 80 million dollars. It's not for you. Nothing is made for people. It's just some guys to make you think that the 80 million dollar Avatar movie is for you. No, it's about some other deal, like about like why he's making a back end contract to actually start up making warehouses in western Delaware that are going to house equipment to be repurposed for data centers. It's not about the fucking Avatar movie anymore. It's not about media for you. I know this is my big tangent, but I was
No.
watching this movie. It was beautiful. I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, this is the end of capitalism. Like, I don't know
It did
why I
kind of
was
piss
thinking.
me off that I was like, how could someone not have confidence in this?
It's insane. It is absolutely like you will put live action fucking Moana in the theaters. The gall
All right.
to force that on the people, and there are executives that are scared to put something beautiful like this movie. And I know Willard doesn't like fucking K-pop Demon Hunters, but you can't deny it was a.
Whoa! Yes, I do.
But you can't deny that movie would have done fucking numbers in the theaters.
Oh no, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but that's a good fucking movie. First of all, hold on. Well, they didn't actually, Joe. Netflix made fucking nothing because they were idiots, like what Tyler's talking about.
I thought they released it in theaters afterwards.
Afterwards,
maybe Netflix got a cut of that. They didn't get the main money because they bought that shit for $20K, and then it made like $1 billion or some shit. Next time you talk shit about Tyler's shit takes, which I do all the time, just remember how based he was in the last 5 minutes, because holy fuck, he is spitting. Second of all, Exhibit B, Coyote versus Acme, that movie that's about to come out, that they tried to like... That movie was gone, by the way. Like, I don't know how that movie's about to come out, but like they deleted whatever hard drives because it was just like a tax write-off movie, and we were never going to get to see this piece of like modern Looney Tunes like cinema. And it's like, oh my god, like we're just trading money, like Tyler said. It's all nothing. It's just like fucking deals, and they don't care about how much it does necessarily, if it can also have like some side benefit of like shuffling some money around. So yeah, like I'm with you.
I'm also gonna pirate Me versus Coyote because that movie deserves to be pirated in that sense. I'm
of two minds about it. No, I'd like them to be proven wrong though, because they were so. How do you have a complete movie and not release it? Like, I want some CEO to feel like a fucking idiot as I give them my money, I guess.
But he won't.
And
he will go, you fucking idiot.
You gotta remember, CEOs are not human beings. They are they're the creatures from Begonia.
They're fucking chuds. Cannibalistic humans from the underground.
Fucking chuds. They are.
I hope this movie is anything like Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers from 22.
In that.
Oh my god, that's the thing that came out.
It's the best live action, if you call it live action. It's the best live action movie Disney's ever made.
Damn.
Yeah.
The gall to put Moana out.
Yeah, just that. Sorry, that was my tangent. I wanted Willer to be back for that. It wasn't anything spoiler related. No, that's my opinion about the movie. Is it woke my eyes up to it made me woke into just realizing that the downfall of capitalism is among us. We are in a recession. I could not watch that movie and think anything other than this is so beautiful. My government's destroyed.
Tyler, welcome. You're at the starting line. We will.
No, I've been here, man. It's just it helped me put it into words. Like, it's weird you just feeling this way.
You read a book or you do an Avatar combo and pretend like the world's not falling apart. That's what I do.
It's weird, you know. You're like, oh, I can't buy a house, and it's like you see these kind of intangible things because like you have to have a job and live somewhere structurally, and that place where you live doesn't allow you to afford a home without a 30-minute commute and shit like that. And it's like,
as a homeowner, but buying a house is fucking insane. Like, I'm stressed out all the time.
Like, you see something tangible in front of you that is just a mockery of the current geopolitical environment of large corporations that have monopolized every single thing that you love, down into like the fucking 5-kilogram pork salami thing in the deli. Like, it's an amalgamation of pork product compressed down into like a brick, and it's just like, how I didn't think Aang would hit me this way, man. Like,
it's the effect this movie had. Tyler's watching it, and the whole time he has this transcendental experience of like, oh, we could live in a world where people make shit this good all the time, but we don't.
I'm genuinely sitting there thinking this, Bradley. Like, I was dying.
I'm gonna post.
And it is kind of sad that we don't like. I don't know. We just don't get more stuff like this. It was I thought it was a pretty good follow up to something that I don't know, just hasn't had good follow-ups for whatever reason. Well, I'm not gonna say it hasn't had good follow-ups. I
Korra,
like Korra.
I need to finish Korra, but I like Korra a lot. From what I have
Now,
consumed, so I'm definitely watching
I
this.
do think,
However, just real quick to get my little piece in,
yeah,
I am watching this. However, the fighting game has convinced me I need to rewatch the whole series because I forgot how much I love every single character. Like, what is with this cast? Like, every
yeah,
single main
rewatching
character.
it's just something you should do anyway.
Honestly, it's been a while, but like when you do Aang versus Zuko in the fighting game, those twin dragons show up in the versus screen, and it didn't click to me
Mm-hmm.
because I forgot that was a scene. And then I watched like a video on Avatar the other day. I think it was the Drew Gooden video, and he talks about that scene.
Yeah.
And I suddenly got so emotional over some dragon PNGs in a fighting game because I was like, man, these two characters' dynamic is so good, and they build on it all 3 seasons. And here I am getting emotional that these PNGs are in a fighting game now. I definitely got to rewatch it because it's so good. But you were saying, Bradley, or
I was gonna follow up with that. Like, if you do end up rewatching it, keep this in mind. Korra is a very good Avatar show, and I think it's just as good as The Last Airbender because it goes into more detail and expands the world of the Avatar that Aang doesn't quite get.
yeah,
We get a lot more
it's a lot
world
more
building.
mature. I watched season 1, and it was actually my favorite Avatar season, but I never got around to anything else.
And a lot of people talk shit. They're like, dude, Korra was a bad Avatar and everything. And I go, okay, look at Aang. Like, he just plunged the world into a century-long war by
literally ran
disappearing,
away
and
for
it
100
resulted in the
years.
genocide of his people. We just
Yeah.
wake up and he's like, oh, you want to go penguin sledding? Like,
It
fuck
took him.
genocide.
It took
you
him
go
like two.
penguin
It,
sledding
it took him
instead.
like a season and a half to lock the fuck in and like really
About-
start like
Yeah.
becoming a very
Yeah.
strong Avatar as well.
It took him until he Appa gets kidnapped for him to actually kind of realize he needs
Yeah.
to do something about
Oh my
it.
god, this
Yeah.
show's so good. What the fuck?
Dude,
I-
so
We're so
y'all want to hear a
blessed.
fun story about Avatar? I think I may have told y'all this before. My aunt in like her late 40s. So like, there's a time in our life when Naruto was first put on cable. On Toonami.
Magical
And
time.
I remember watching this with my cousin, and we really got into Naruto when we were like 8 or 9 years old. We could have been 12. I don't know. Naruto was peak when it hit. I think it was probably 8 or 9. And so we start watching all this anime on Toonami and everything, and we get older, and we're maybe like 16, 17. We're in high school. We don't talk as much anymore, but we still hang out every now and then.
Yeah.
And my aunt in her late 40s watches Avatar: The Last Airbender because we grew up watching it. I grew up watching it with my cousin. I remember watching the finale at my cousin's lake house.
Oh, dude.
At his grandparents'
Sidebar:
house.
watching the finale live was so cool.
Dude, yeah, it was the best. And I remember, like, it was a cool experience. So, like, my cousin got my aunt to watch it in her late 40s. And she was like, that was the most magical show ever. I thought animation was for kids. You're telling me they have plots and story this deep? After that, she goes on this anime watching binge. She's watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood,
Oh yeah.
Death Note.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like, she's watching bangers, bro, for the plot. And it was cool how like Avatar was the segue into getting her like down that path.
And they'd be very happy about that because it's obviously very inspired by anime.
Mhm.
Bradley, you had something to say about the movie.
Yeah, because I guess like generally I'm very positive about the movie. If I was forced to give a negative, it might just be that like the big climactic battle might not be as exciting as I might have hoped. But like I don't know, even then that feels like a small detraction for me because what I like about this movie I think is just everything leading up to the big battle. It would be really preposterous for me to claim that the Avatar series hasn't dealt into the air nomad genocide before because it's like the setting is the air nomad genocide happened.
Yeah.
So they definitely delve into it in both The Last Airbender and Korra. I think here is just where I felt the pain of it the most out of those three.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a difference between it being the setting and then like really making you feel the weight of that.
because like I don't know, we get to see like Aang visit the past locations in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and we get to see how he reacts to the absence of everything. And I don't know. I feel like we just really explore the pain of it a lot in this movie just because of what the focus of the plot is. Even in Korra, like there's Tenzin. Like Aang has a son, and Tenzin is as close to a real airbender as is as close to the last real airbender as you can possibly get within Korra. But even then, he's never really like lived as an air nomad. In this story, in the story of this movie, I feel like you get to just I don't know. I feel like it's portrayed more what Aang feels about losing all that because Aang has some of the best friends you could ever possibly hope for in the world, and they're friends who will help share that pain if they possibly can. But even then, he's like, y'all just don't get it. Like nobody on that planet understands what Aang feels.
Damn.
And so I don't know. I feel like this movie was a really good way to explore that. It's also why like I don't feel like it. Earlier I think I called it Book 4 Air, and I don't just call it that just because it's a fourth Avatar thing that came out. Like it's because Air is such a big focus of it, and that's also why like I can see why people might not like the fact that we didn't get as much interactions between the gang as we might otherwise, but that's also why I really love this movie is just like an Aang focus.
I didn't know that about. I felt this movie from on the tin. It feels like it would be a milk the gang as
No.
much as you can, but the fact that it's Aang focus, like really Aang focus, is very interesting to me. That sounds really cool.
They incorporate a lot of the gang into it, but it's like the whole movie I think kind of feels like a montage.
Mm.
Yeah.
I want
So
to
it's
see.
hard to see. It's hard to see any focus on any character, including Aang, because it's like it feels like probably as opposed to like how the normal episodes feel with a B plot. There's definitely like not really a B plot going on.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's
That's true.
very singular focus, and yeah, I have a lot of other issues with it, and part of it is with Tyler's rant. I think the show is 20 years old. You're not this movie is not for kids. It is for the adults that have grown up with that show, and I feel like it doesn't need to be blood and guts boys mature, but it could be a little bit more mature than it actually is.
I see that. Feels like this movie should have come out logically 3 years after the movie if Paramount or
Maybe even like
I don't know if Paramount had access. I don't know who was owning Nickelodeon or whatever the fuck knew what they should be doing.
Yeah, it's just like, and to me, it was just like, there's so much more you could explore with like what's going on with Aang and Katara and like the Republic City as well, and like it's just like, I don't know. It feels like it's trying to be a very much like a kids friendly show, but also just like, but the kids don't know what this is, or this is not the thing they've grown up with, right? Like, this is very clear. Like, the people paying for Paramount Plus have grown up watching this show, kind of a thing.
This is for all the nerd adults out there, which is
Yeah.
the most profitable like demographic to reach into because we buy card games and board games and fucking
So
whatever the
true.
hell.
And like, I just kind of wish that it was a little bit more mature and a little bit more like, like Katara and Aang's relationship feels like a, Saturday morning kids show relationship.
Oh,
There's-
that's so disappointing. That is like, I was there. The two things I'd want to see most is how Aang and Katara have matured as like a couple, and what Zuko is like as an adult.
Yeah, and I didn't get that, in my opinion, and that's kind of what the big disappointing part of it to me was.
I feel like I might lean towards Joe if that's the case, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Sidebar: are we excited about the new Avatar show? Now that they remembered that they're sitting on a gold mine franchise.
I'm excited to get anything they will give me.
The setting looks kind of fucked though. Like it seems like they veered really intensely into this
Qatar
new like
fucked everything.
post-apocalyptic setting, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
What, as
Well, I
our
wonder
lore
who did
master,
that.
Bradley, what do you make of that?
Oh God, I don't know. Whatever it is, fans are. Whatever happens in the new show, fans are gonna hate Korra for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already started happening.
Already started. Korra has always been hated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it's already like come around. Like this is all Korra's fault. That kind of stuff.
That's
Now,
gotta be misleading, but
No, like the fans are saying that, not the actual
Yeah.
show. I think, but like maybe if that's even part of the plot, though, that might be actually interesting because that like changes the relationship.
the thing
of
is,
the
I
Avatar
love how
world.
flawed Korra is, but I don't think she can take any more. It's just like
Yeah.
based on how the fan base already treats her. It's like give her a break. Let some other Avatar fuck things up. All right, we're gonna move on to Splatoon Raiders, which me and Tyler have been playing. Tyler is really into this shit. I'm happy to see
Yeah,
it because
I'd like to finish it. I look at these other levels I haven't beat every day, and I'm like, where's Willer?
well soon. Next time we're free, we'll do some.
I've been doing a couple of dailies to help out other players,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of, what is it? Get like upgrade wards and stuff, and I've been trying to like farm a few materials when I can. There's like one material that's really hard to find, like the guys with the missile launchers.
Yeah.
Fucking, I need like 30 of those missile packs. So hard to fucking find.
30 is crazy. Is this for a gadget part?
Yeah, it's for a gadget part.
Mm.
This game was advertised as like a single player, primarily focused game. Dude, y'all, this game is fucking sick multiplayer. This is such a fun game.
Yeah, what makes me happy about this is that Tyler hasn't played a Splatoon, while me and Bradley played 2 and 3. I think Bradley's
That
been
is
on
an
there since
interesting
1.
angle.
But as a result,
Ugh.
like he's getting to see how those guys are masters of like game feel and like enemy design, and it's made me very happy to see all these enemies and new ones that I haven't seen and boss variants of all these enemies that have terrorized me in fucking salmon runs.
Yeah, I will say this. So the game scales based off of the number of players in the lobby. So like when you're playing by yourself on the hardest difficulty on spicy, killing
Spicy
enemies
sound
feels killing enemies feels very nice. It is a good single player experience. Playing with 2 people, all right, difficulty's there. I can feel it like tanking a little bit. I've been doing some match searching with 3 players, Willer. I will unload entire like ammo. Like I will unload all of my ammo and all of my equipment into into a smoker, and it doesn't fucking die.
And
I
in
want
like a good way, in like a or in a
and like
frustrating
holy
way.
shit,
Are
I'm
you-
having fun.
Okay.
I'm having a great time. I am losing all of my assists trying to help people do spicy dungeons. When I get 3 people in the lobby, like we have a 33% chance of success.
one
That's kind
one
of
third
sick.
per player.
Yeah,
Dude,
like-
it's so sick. And I'm just like, dude, if we had Bradley or Joe playing this $50 Nintendo Switch first party title,
Nah,
that would be sick.
This one needs to be Bradley, man. I will be there waiting for cause like the thing is, I've played Salmon Run with Bradley and Emily. Dude, I fucking like Splatoon co-op is so fucking fun because they're so sadistic with the enemy design. Where one enemy is bad, this enemy plus that enemy, holy shit. This enemy plus that enemy plus a third enemy is levels of sadistic that FromSoft wishes they could reach. Like,
I want them to release a post-launch game mode for this game that doesn't give you the machine to jump on top of.
that you've just created a nightmare scenario. The
I
machine
know.
is our getaway if you're player one. That's one
I
annoyance I have
know.
with the game. There's this cool mech that follows you, and you can jump off of it and get aerial, which is a huge buff in Splatoon. However, it only follows player one. So if you're player two or three, you kind of have to play around the fact that it's not going to be around you very often, and keep that in mind. Um,
Like this
I
game.
I compare this game to Salmon Run too much, which makes me feel like this game's too easy.
Mhm.
Because every time I play Salmon Run with Bradley, like, and part of Salmon Run is you don't get to choose your weapon, but I play every weapon anyways, right? So like it doesn't make that much of a difference to me. But like, Bradley, how often did we used to win Salmon Runs? It was kind of rare, no?
It was like
Like 1 in 5,
maybe
1 in 4.
I was gonna say if we were like on a good day, maybe half the time,
Okay, okay.
if
Ye-
that.
I feel like this game's a lot easier because, for example, like all the enemies have more weaknesses. Because like, and correct me if I'm wrong. Do you remember the enemy Bradley in Splatoon that it's like an umbrella guy? He jumps up in the air, lands, is shielded by his umbrella. He pokes out like a scope, and then pops out real quick to shoot a missile. And then you can only hit him when he's like popping up to shoot the missile, or you can shoot the missile back at him. Does that ring a bell?
It does. And you know, I was watching some gameplay of this and I saw one of the mini bosses that I know and love, but he was doing a new animation and I remember going like, "Oh, that must be like a new way to attack him cuz if they didn't create that, this game would be too fucked up for all the children buying it."
So like in this game, you can hit that guy when he's in umbrella mode. And correct me if I'm wrong, you could like, as far as I remember, in Salmon Run, you do 0 damage if he's not exposed.
0.
And the same goes for Hatman, where it's that big eel that like shoots like a bomb out of his hat, so you can
Oh,
only
yeah.
damage him while the bomb is forming. You can do damage to him regardless. It's lower damage, but you can. You can even pierce the cars that you can only hit them from the back. If you have a penetrating weapon, you can pierce them from the front. So, and also like you don't have grenades in this, so the missile launcher guys, you can just shoot the middle part. To me, that's like sacrilege because those guys are kill on sight because you have to land a grenade in their little basketball hoop missile launcher basket to kill them at all. Um, so by adding all these extra vulnerabilities to the enemies, I feel like it's become a lot easier. And I feel that about half the time, maybe like 60 to 70% of the time.
To
And
me,
then
they all feel like they just have reasonable counterplay. In my
part of
opinion.
part of the fun was that their counterplay was so difficult before. Where like you
I
had
will
you had
say-
to manage the chum while waiting and conserving your ink to hit the counterplay moment.
They
And
still have like those big bomber dudes where like their only weak spot is their head for like 5 seconds or like 2 seconds.
you
I
can kind of hit their
struggle with those.
bodies now.
I mean, you can hit their bodies, but it does like a fifth of the damage.
But that's still something. In
Yeah.
in normal Splatoon, it was not so like you had to lock the fuck in. Now I say that, but then 30% of the time, especially when we start getting to the spicy modes, we hit
Yeah.
that high again, where me and Tyler are getting overwhelmed, and I'm like, oh no, this game still has it in it to like
Peak.
bring this emotion out of me. So I'm keen to see what the post game is like because that is the most complained about part of the game. Um, I'm curious if I even care. I'm curious if like we beat the game and I'm like, that's fine. I don't need to do a post game and like none of that affects me, or if I'm gonna feel lacking. Because apparently people say like for a looter shooter, the loot you get in the post game is not worth it. But it's like, how much am I gonna care? So we'll see when we get there.
I'm hoping we get to put the game down, and then like 6 months from now, they're like, "Hey, Splatoon DLC 1," and we'll be like, "Dude, fuck yeah, I'm in, man."
I would love that. Apparently, people aren't optimistic on this getting DLC, which is a bummer. I really hope it does because I feel like they've made a
Yeah.
really, really good foundation. This game is really
Japan
fun.
loves Splatoon, man. Like
They do.
they need to gung ho that.
They do need a gung
Good
ho
game.
that.
The last level we did, which was not a spicy, we ran into a fish Megazord, and then Willer left me for a week, and I don't get to see more fish Megazords.
Sorry, a week. First of all, I wasn't here this weekend, and you were busy too. And then, do you want to play after this podcast?
I gotta go hang out with my wife.
I gotta go hang out with my wife. Yeah, so we'll play.
I want to
Maybe
go hang out with her.
so. Maybe we'll play tomorrow, but maybe we have plans tomorrow. So maybe we play Friday.
Friday.
Okay, but we also got to do Relink.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Lock it in. All right. Last topic of the Roundabout cast is the Odyssey.
Yay.
Short little trip.
Is it good?
Joe, you watched the movie. You tell. You speak.
We'll never
I
fucking know.
twice.
I've seen it twice now.
Oh,
He didn't get it all the first time.
I got it all the first time, and I needed it again the second time. I really, really love this movie a lot. I am a big fan of it. I think it's my favorite Christopher Nolan movie that I've seen. I think like the set piecing, the shots, the groundness of it. It feels very real. Besides the fucking mythical aspects of it.
But even the way those are done is like grounded in like a very Batman
man.
the Dark Knight level.
Even then, like it's so surreal. Like the Cyclops scene, which is like, a scene that is 5,000 years old. Like it's older than the Bible.
Jesus Christ!
It's for Nolan to take that scene that has kind of been explored, extracted, and branched off into other different pieces of media and put his own spin on it and really bring it to life is incredible. I think that scene is just disturbing. It I saw it the second time. I was like, I am not comfortable watching this. It's so weird and unique, and it's so simple, and it's such a great ABC problem solving aspect of that scenario, right? And it's so quick, but you're so engaged because it's so fucking dire for these guys in this situation. And then on top of that, the Nolan being able to weave in the parts back home and making that very engaging too is really, really great. And I just everything about this movie really struck a chord with me. Both, and that is somewhat of a joke and a serious thing. So I just really, really love the movie a lot.
Wait, what's the joke?
The remember when he pulls the string back and strikes a chord?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just everything about it really sung to me about what this story is. And the modernization.
Who was your favorite character?
That's a great question. I don't really know. It has to be Odysseus to me, I think, at this point. But I think I know why you don't like him, but maybe we have conversations to those aspects. But what is your thoughts about that?
Yeah, as someone who loves Christopher Nolan movies, he's made a lot of my favorite movies. I came in to this with very high expectations, especially after Joe gave it an 11 out of 10, and the entire internet was raving for it. Mm-hmm. I definitely left disappointed. It's interesting. I asked you what your favorite character was, and you struggled a little bit. You're gonna say it's because they're all so good.
No, not at all.
My thing is, The characters in this movie are so dry, dude. I could not connect to any of them, especially Odysseus. And he's fucking played by Matt Damon. And Matt Damon is such a good actor. So what the fuck happened?
There's so much that I connect with Odysseus in this movie. This struggle of leadership and kind of like the bearing of guilt and weight of like, I have led these men to their dooms out of my own arrogance, and that kind of chewing away in that regard.
I feel like there's a lot of telling and not showing with that theme.
I can definitely see that.
And like the thing about it, if we want to get into it, is that there's a theme to the movie that is a retroactive reanalyzation of Odysseus' story and the fall of Troy. That is easily the most interesting part of the movie. And like a genuinely very good observation on Christopher Nolan's part. However, the journey leading to that does not very adequately reflect that theme to me. Are y'all going to watch this movie? Because if you are, I wouldn't even want to talk about what the theme is personally.
I'd like to, but I've also done the Odyssey in various forms, so don't feel bad about spoiling several thousand-year-old story.
I do think Nolan's take on the Odyssey is unique in
yes.
the theme.
Well, what's funny is he made this movie with Oppenheimer. He made the same movie twice.
Yeah.
And the problem is, I fucking love Oppenheimer because all the dialogue and the pacing and the characters are really good. And then the pacing, the dialogue, and the characters are all lacking in this. There's some lines that Odysseus says that fucking kill me. Where he goes up to, is it Circe with the lotus flowers? And he goes, but Calypso. I love them. Calypso.
Yeah.
But I love the lotus flowers. It's like, come on, dude. This is Matt Damon. What are we doing? And then,
but I like that.
Recently, Tom Holland's "That's enough! This feast is over!"
As soon as when I was watching the movie, I was like, that shit's gonna get memed to death when this.
Somebody get these beggars out of here! That one's actually goated. Robert Pattinson is such a good actor.
Dude's killing it.
Yeah, it's just kinda. It doesn't have that spice, that forward momentum that Oppenheimer had, and they both could fall into the same hole, which is we're covering too much story too quick. And Oppenheimer definitely does that, but because of the little technical elements and also the score, it really draws you in. Not that the score is bad in this. There's some really gorgeous, but then the sound gets absolutely drowned when he's in the water, and unintentionally, I feel sometimes.
I felt like the sound mixing and the score in this was great, in my opinion. So the cool thing they do is they recontextualize the fall of Troy as a turning point in humanity, where we have broken Zeus's law of hospitality in such a fundamental way with the Trojan horse that it has changed what humanity is going forward. And that is the journey that Odysseus comes to realize. That is such a cool plot. That is also the plot of Oppenheimer. However, the journey of him going back home has him running into a bunch of supernatural mythological elements that are not impacted by his decisions at Troy. You know when they get to that island with the giant Iron Men that immediately attack them? Yeah, the Lathagonians.
The Lathagonians?
Yeah.
Whether or not they handle Troy that way, the movie still portrays them as hey, if you showed up to this island at any point, we would have attacked you because we're savages. Whether or not they did what they did at Troy, the Cyclops was still going to be
Okay.
aggressive against them.
Whether
or not they did what they did at Troy, Cersei the Witch would have turned them into pigs because that's their nature.
Okay, so for the Lathagonians, the inverse of that is that those people are more advanced because they're using iron weapons and iron armor. They are aids beyond.
Yeah, they're beyond Bronze Age.
Right. So they are at the point now where like they have the natural progression of this like technology is just to like destroy those below you, right? I think that is kind of like the read I have there.
However, there is no reflection by our protagonist from that event.
Right. And but like also with Cersei, she makes it very clear like these are just the nature of your men. This is what you have like brought to my lands.
Which implies that what we did at Troy was not my decision. My men are crooked either way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the journey just doesn't quite fit the core theme, which is the most interesting part. And then Odysseus is not very interesting throughout. I'll say he's a stronger man than me, because if I was in an island eating lotus flowers and banging Charlize Theron, I would never leave. But, you know, he manages to find the will to do it. So props to him. And then, like, when we get back home, it's like Tom Holland's not really killing it here. I'm not going to call him a bad actor by any means, but his character is just kind of one note. And the best actress in the movie is Anne Hathaway, who actually gets some, like, stuff to chew on with some of her scenes. Everyone else is, like, kind of one note. But then it's like, well, this is the prototypical story. Like, this is the fucking Odyssey. It is the trope. But that doesn't mean that we needed to handle it as...
The guy's name is Mentor.
There's a guy named Mentor. And that you know, there's no reason why this needed to be handled so straightforwardly in that regard. So I was really disappointed. And, like, the first note I wrote with the movie, and this is when I started realizing I was not liking the movie very much, was that I found the Cyclops scene kind of boring.
Oh, man.
And I was shocked, because it's supposed to be, like, the big set piece of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much, like, weird little back and forth, and like it's kind of stretched out in a weird way, and
none of that for me at all. I would also say that like you have watched a lot of horror movies this year.
Yeah.
So I have not. I've watched very very little horror movies. So like this is like a big tonal shift for me, in terms of like what I've been intaking media wise from movies. Not saying that's the only reason, but I wonder if that's like some part to it, because it felt very jarring to be into this very horror kind of situation.
Maybe. I find his design very unsettling.
Yeah.
It's just the way the scene plays out. I was like, okay, that failed. We're still in the cave. What's next? Oh, we're doing wool now? Okay. Oh, okay. And then Odysseus just kind of attacks him for no reason, while apparently in the main story he does it like out of a very very greedful, like prideful moment, which shows kind of his weak points. And here he's like, you killed one of my men, I'm gonna attack you as we're walking out, which is a little less nuanced.
I think the one thing that I wish Nolan did more with Odysseus is that his arrogance needed to be a little bit more obvious, and I think it's a little too subtle, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. The only time he shows any arrogance is trying to listen to the Siren song, but the way that he's portrayed in the movie made that actually feel out of character.
Yes. I would also say, though, him plucking his bow before each hunt is also his arrogance. That is the movie
absolutely portrays that as, like, nobility, though. It does not take the arrogant angle with it. It is definitely like this is how he's evening the playing ground because he's a good man.
I don't think so, but I do think like that is like the unfortunate read, and like part of this is also me like who's read the Odyssey like 2 or 3 times and very well versed.
It's
like story.
I'm unfamiliar with the manga.
Yeah,
I'm anime purist.
My perception of Odysseus is like that arrogance is like very key part of his character.
From what I remember as well, and part of it is also Percy Jackson and Hades. But like,
yeah, and
yeah,
that's a big Greek thing, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
fucking what's his name, Achilles and all that, and Paris and Hector, and it's a big Greek thing, and misogyny as well. So like, but like I think like that was kind of like my one thing is that like to me those are all signs of his arrogance, where like he's plucking the bow, he's choosing not to follow Agamemnon after the war because it's like we don't need him anymore, we can do stuff on our own. He's just like, don't worry about it,
Is
don't
that
worry
what?
about it.
Is that how he? I guess I missed that. I did not realize that's how he portrayed that decision.
Yeah, that to me is like, we don't need to worry about this. We can go our own way. We don't need to follow along because Agamemnon gets there in a few years. He gets back home, or like even a year. And
Well, I mean,
so,
to
like,
be fair, Odysseus got blown off course because he was an asshole.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he chose to not follow this man who he's been stucking with because he's just so tired of it. He wants to be his own, right? That's part of the arrogance that.
Is that how I completely? Maybe I was in the bathroom. The scene that sets that up, or maybe you are portraying some of your ball knowledge to the movie that may not have quite been there.
They get on the boat and Agamemnon's sailing away, and they go, "Are we not going to follow them?" He's like, "No, we followed him for 10 years. We don't need to do that anymore. We're going to take the south winds and go our own way."
Okay.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
And then the first thing they do is they raid a village, and they take all their food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, to me, it's like those are all set pieces of like his arrogance. Like he tries to portray it nobly, but really they are just they're shit that is just getting him in trouble, and that's really what it is. And like I think like that's the point where like you get to the scene with Calypso and like Athena, and they're like, you just have to like take your fucking shame, man, and live with it, and like you have to take your punishment. Your ultimate punishment is you have these shooters in your home now. They've taken over everything. You have opened up the gates for Zeus's law to be broken, and now they are breaking it very heavily in your own home, and your wife is doing everything she can to get this together, and that's the only thing that's kind of like saving you here. So you need to like, your punishment is like you lose your entire leadership cadre. You have to like be tossed around by the fucking ocean, and you like lose out on your life for 8 years. You lose 8 years of your life. Like imagine waking up and losing 8 years of your life, basically. And so like that to me is like the part of like the leadership aspect of like, you have to live with your choices, even if like the men that you are leading are bad. You did have some sort of like responsibility for them. That is what he's reckoning with.
Oh, you thought Apollo wouldn't see you eating those sheep?
Yeah, you thought the gods wouldn't see if you were being quiet.
Yeah,
but
to be clear, like I don't think this is a bad movie. It probably, if it wasn't for The Dark Knight Rises being what it was, this would be my least favorite Christopher Nolan movie. I just came in with like really high expectations, but it's not a bad movie at all.
Yeah,
I just have some beef. I have some lamb's beef.
Yeah, man, and like the scene of him stringing the bow is like one of my favorite scenes of all of fiction. Like from like the story perspective.
Near the end.
Yeah, where like they have the trial, because that's what's in the story. Is like Penelope's like, I'm done. I'm gonna find a husband now. If you can string my husband's bow and shoot through these axes, that's it. We're good. And
no one could. It's too hard.
No one could. And then Odysseus, because Odysseus' bow has got a trick to it, and he's the only one that knows. There are 3 things that I wish were incorporated in the movie. One of them I kind of understand. 2 of them I really wish made it in from the original story. So the first one being is that Odysseus introduces himself as nobody to the Cyclops. The problem with that is a pun in Greek, where the first part of his name, Odo, sounds like nobody in Greek. So that's why that works.
It doesn't really even need the pun, because then the joke still lands where the Cyclops is like, who did this to you? And he goes, nobody. And he looks like a fucking fool.
But Odo is also a nickname for Odysseus. So it's like, you can't play the clever ruse as well without it feeling forced. That is what like Nolan said. The second
That
thing-
joke has worked in like high schools across the land,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
think that's a reach.
It's like it's the one thing most people remember from
the
Odyssey.
Cyclops, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second thing is that after Odysseus strings his bow and like kills all the suitors, Penelope has one more trial for him, which is he finishes up and she's still hesitant of like, is this Odysseus or this guy just figure it out? And she goes like, okay, we can be married. I need you to move my bed to face west. And and the Odysseus says, I can't do that. Her reply is like, why not? You're not strong enough. It's like, no, because that bed is built into the actual tree that stands on that creates the support of our house. If I were to do that, I would destroy the support of our house entirely to move this bed, which I will not do because our house remains here, kind of a thing. It's her last like kind of like trial for him. It's also symbolism of like, no one knows about this bed, because if someone knew about this bed, that means I have slept with them, and that information is probably passed around because they would have known what the bed looks like. It's so unique. So it's her way of telling him that I have been faithful to you, and her way of confirming with him that that you are Odysseus.
I get why that's a cool scene. That's so hard to set up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We were busy
That's
talking about the sea people and the ankle scar. Like we had too much to get through.
Yeah, I'm not saying like it needs to be in there, but those are things that's something I would really like to see. The final thing, and this is one that I think actually should have been in the movie, is when they're sailing away from the Cyclops, Odysseus gets up on his ship and announces his fucking name because he's a fucking idiot to the Cyclops, and that's how Poseidon figures out he needs to curse him. And I think that would also bridge that arrogance gap a lot too. Really like sell that like this man thinks he's full of himself, thinks he's the smartest and bravest, and like he needs to reconcile with like the evil that he's like put into this world from his actions. Because the other thing is like all these different incidents of them going to these places are them breaking Zeus's law one way or another, and the people there also breaking it. It's a lack of like.
They only do it at the village they raid.
They do it at the village they raid. They go into the Cyclops' lair.
They didn't know that she's. I didn't know that she's like belonged to like I don't know. That one's a little.
What are you
loose.
talking about? Cheese doesn't grow on fucking cave walls. Someone made it.
They have nothing going on. They don't know that.
Imagine if someone walked into your garden and started eating your plants, Willer. That's what he fucking did.
Zeus would strike them down.
Yes. They walk in. They literally kick down Cersei's door and then chase her to the fucking garden and pin her down.
Okay, not in the movie. They're pretty chill with Cersei. They're
going into her house with their swords drawn, like going like, "What's all in here?" And they start rummaging around.
I thought they walk in and she's like, "Yeah, I'll feed you."
No. She freaks out. And like she's like, "Get away!" And then he literally throws her to the ground and says like, "Be quiet. We're not gonna hurt you. We need food." Like that.
I'll take it from the guy who's watched it twice.
Yeah, like it's, and then let's see, where else do they go?
Okay, all right. Anyways,
they go to Hades.
They definitely broke Zeus's law when they walk into the Loggermorths and they immediately gank their ass.
Yes. Well, yes, but that's them breaking it where they're just like crushing him immediately.
Oh, the Scylla was like, "Don't sail through these rocks. I will fuck you up for the 20 seconds I am in the film."
Ooh.
They were better as a band in Hades.
I like that rendition of it as like a monster. It's a big barnacle on the side of the cliff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was neat. Anyways, that's the Odyssey. Good movie.
Yep.
Not the best.
Yeah.
Unless
I love it.
It's the best.
Yep.
Let's do the Odyssey.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
There's not a single mention of Cappy. That is such a mistake.
Not a single mention of what the fuck's the name of the mayor in New Dong City?
Pauline.
Pauline. There's not a single mention of Pauline. That'd be a Greek ass name. Can you believe that the name Penelope is 5,000 years old?
Crazy.
In the newest book of Dungeon Crawler Carl, there's a pig named Penelope that Zeus wants to fuck.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm okay leaving these books behind.
No, you're not.
All right,
check
everyone.
check us out next month when we discuss what we're gonna sing. What we're gonna talk about.
Well, next month we properly discuss the amazing digital circus.
Ah, true. Because Bradley's gonna watch it all while he.
Finally.
And
Yeah.
then Tyler will have played Grandblue Ragnarok. And, next month I will have beaten Final Fantasy IX. I'm in the last dungeon. I do one boss every 4 days.
Yeah.
And it's just a long-ass boss gauntlet. So that's something to look forward to.
I'll talk about probably Star Wars Zero Company, which comes out the 27th. So that'll be fun. Also, the new Arkham expansion. That's another thing.
Always around the corner.
When does that come out?
It comes out this Friday, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. That's Roundabout Cast 108. Thank you for joining us.
See ya.
Everyone say thank you,
Bye-bye.
Bradley.
Thank you, Bradley.
Thank you, Brettle.